Hello and welcome to the George Lucas stage at Elstree Studios in London, where this weekend the famous glitter ball has made way for football and day 2 of the 2024 ePremier League finals. Yesterday we confirmed our first 2 quarter-finalists, and today there are 10 more teams looking to join Manchester City and Brighton in the last 8.
Hello and welcome to Elstree Studios in London for the 2024 ePremier League finals.
Ice cold. Jack Sharp in 6. He breaks towards us.
Really well played, Cameron Brock. There's the comeback. He's on a play for Haaland. Easy picking. Finds Young-Min Son. You cannot make mistakes like that. 10 goals between these two in our first game. City are top of this Group A. Can he make the most of it though? He can. Brighton will be 6 points from 6, continuing their march at the top of the table.
What a brilliant day of esports we were treated to yesterday, and we're looking forward to more of the same this afternoon, so don't go anywhere. I've been joined by Richard Buckley and Leah Ravel to talk about what we saw yesterday. Leah, let's kick things off. How impressed were you by the standard yesterday?
I was very impressed. I think there were a lot of expectations. We all know that the Premier League is the home for a lot of returning talent.
Ones to focus on, definitely. Talk to me about what impressed you so much with them. Tex, Matthias Bonanno. It felt like at the beginning of the day, Tex was slightly frustrated, but by the end of it, he was beaming. He was absolutely glowing.
I think that goes to show the experience that they have and the talent that they have. Obviously, there were expectations coming into this that they were going to be somewhere around the top of the group, if not the top. And both of those playing in FC Pro, they dominated. So I think there's no surprise that Manchester City were at the top.
Richard, day 2, the bar has been set already. Group C and D to come. Do you think they can hit the same levels as yesterday?
Yeah, I think they can. I think there's an expectation for Spurs that we're going to see later on today in Group D, and for Crystal Palace in Group C today. City and Brighton hit yesterday, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what those big guns can do.
One of those teams that set the expectations were Brighton. In Group B, they topped the table. What impressed you most about their performance?
Just consistent. I think that's the word to describe them. When they were stuck against the wall, when they were back up against it, they came out and they won those games. They weren't drawing a lot of games to sort of drop points to, were in those Nottingham Forest games. Their closest rivals. The rest of the matches, whether it was Mark Marley or Jayden, picking up the points, picking up 3 points, 6 points here and there. And by the end of it, round 5 was rudimentary.
Right, well, we've talked about Manchester City and Brighton making it through already, but it's also worth pointing out that all 20 of our Premier League teams will be back in action in March. The 4 all guarantee their spot in the quarter-finals, but any of the other 16 teams could still join them through the elimination process, which is what makes this format so exciting. But don't worry whether you're an FC Pro expert or whether you're new to esports, you're in for a brilliant afternoon, so don't go anywhere and don't take my word for it. Here are the players explaining why this is such a fantastic tournament to be involved in and how it all works.
The ePremier League is the biggest tournament of my season.
Quite excited. I'm nervous at the same time. Yeah, rock and roll.
You pick a team.
The badge on my shirt is all I'm playing for in this tournament. And then from there there's online qualifiers and then club playoffs, and then you make it to the final playoffs. And now we're here, there's 20 teams, 2 people on each team, Xbox, PlayStation, and we're all going to battle it out.
So our aim is to top the group, because that means that you get straight through to the Sunday in March, which is top 8.
We're then going to play out to the top 4, and those 4 teams will join the other 4 who top the group in the knockout stages.
It's a full Premier League squad, past and present.
So we've had to change our team around to these players we might not use all the time on our main accounts.
At 6 minutes.
It's a lot different than 9 minute halves we play in like the normal comp season.
All the best players around England compete for.
If you're watching EPL for the first time, you should be expecting very high level gameplay.
£100,000 prize pool.
Let's see what we can do.
Ryan Pessoa has now joined me at the desk. We're trying to get everyone in as quick as we can because we're all excited. Ryan, we've just heard the players talking about this tournament. You can echo their words. You've competed in the ePremier League. You know what it's all about.
Yep.
How does it feel to actually compete on this stage?
I think all the players, they'll understand the level of competition and being able to, of course, qualify at home, weighing in person in front of all the lights. They know what the standard is amongst the competitors. So I know the pressure will be on. I know they can hear me, but yeah, they'll be enjoying it for sure.
As you say that, Shellzz has just turned around in the studio. They can all hear us. They're all so close to us. This is the time, though, where they put in so much work. They put in all the time at home. Getting to the studio and being at this tournament, now it's time to show what they can actually do.
Exactly. As I said, it's a massive accomplishment to be here, but they all will be vying to win it, to get their hands on the trophy. And the first step is to finish top of the group stage. And yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult.
I mean, looking at this season as a whole, the ePremier League jumps out as one of those tournaments. It's one of the most prestigious, but also it's a great opportunity moving forward, looking ahead. Some of these players, they might not have qualified for other things, but they could really cement themselves if they win the ePremier League, looking ahead at the World Championships.
You've got the World Championships if you manage to win the whole competition. You've also got qualification for the E-Champions League if they progress far in this tournament, which is a massive, massive thing in our global series.
Oh, I'm so excited for this one. Now, all 20 Premier League teams are represented in the tournament, and we can see here that Manchester City and Brighton, they already have gone through, having won Groups A and B respectively yesterday. Well, today, it's the turn of the teams below in this graphic. Yes, Groups C and D will be kicking off with Group C, where top seed Crystal Palace, led by 2021 champion Shellzz, who's made the switch from Manchester City to join Crystal Palace, take on the Hatters Luton Town. Ryan, you know this man very well. All of these players you know, but Shellzz in particular, because you're his teammate for so long.
Yep.
He's got so much experience. We know he's won the tournament before. How can he put that experience into practice today?
Yeah, I feel like having somebody for years, but again, I feel as if the level of competition is extremely high, and if Shellzz can perform at his standard, it'll be a tough game for anybody that comes up against him.
It will be, and we can look at the fixtures for himself as he's smiling right now. He's looking forward to it, we can see. He's got a tough game, though, to start things off. We just mentioned there, Crystal Palace, they are taking on Luton. Shellzz taking on Harvey Waters just there, and his teammate, NiKSNEB, on the PlayStation, he's taking on Luke Downing. That's a great game for us to get started off with. Crystal Palace taking on Luton, and then Bournemouth against Wolves as well. Nathan BP taking on Mitch Hayward, and then it's VBD against Kai Harris. I mean, Ryan, looking at these two fixtures just here, what a way to start day two.
Yep, exactly. As you said, some tough games, some players that potentially are making their first appearances at a LAN tournament this year, so they know that the pressure's going to be on. They're under the lights, they're on the main stage. Some names as well that, in my opinion, that sort of go under the radar in the UK scene. You've got Kai Harris, you've got Nathan BP, top players as well. You've got the youngsters for Luton that have a little bit of experience, but less so than the likes of NiKSNEB and Shellzz, but they'll be raring to go.
Well, this building has been absolutely jam-packed all day, and our reporter, Casey Anderson, has been sneaking around backstage a little earlier to see who she could find.
Hello, everyone. I am backstage in the Players' Lounge where players are getting ready for Group C and D. They've been here since right about 11 a.m., playing lots and lots of friendlies. As you can see, we have Manchester United here. I'm going to try to find a few players to talk to. Lyrics is getting ready for Spurs over there. And I do see Crystal Palace Shellzz, so let's see if we can grab him for a second. Hello, Shellzz. How are you today?
A bit tired, but yeah, I'm all right.
So you're competing today. Last year, you were with Man City. Now you're with Crystal Palace. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Obviously, I was at Man City for the last 3-4 years, so it's a bit weird putting on a new kit and even seeing Tex and that in the kit and celebrating, but I'm still cool with the guys, but I'm with SNEB this time and I'm looking to win it all.
That is great to hear. I know that Group C, it does look a little bit tough, but what are your overall thoughts about your group?
I'm not going to lie, at first when I saw the group, I'm like, yeah, we're laughing, but then I realised the actual players representing the teams and was like, okay, there's a couple good players here. Obviously, Kai Harris and Mitch at Wolves. Luton's a very good team as well, so it'll be tough, but I'm looking to top the group, of course.
And obviously, we can't forget that you are a previous champion. Does that add any pressure to you, or are you just kind of here trying to make it happen again?
Obviously, I'm here to make it happen again. I think the pressure went after not making it the year after. And I think being a free agent, the only one I've got to prove myself is to myself and obviously to my teammate. So, I'm obviously here to win, but I don't really have much pressure.
Alrighty, well, I will let you get back to your friendly Shellzz. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Right, the players are almost ready with their setups, which means we'll be live with our first game when we return after this short break. Welcome back to the finals of the ePremier League 2024. We are just moments away from our first round of games where on Stream B you can watch Bournemouth take on Wolves, or you can stay with us here on the main show where Crystal Palace are up against Luton Town. I've joined you guys, quite comfy here, isn't it? You'll be talking through all of our first games that we've got coming up. Brandon, starting with you. How impressed were you yesterday? Can this lot live up to the hype?
You hope so. I mean, look, you've got to look at Manchester City yesterday. 41 goals they scored in the group stage. They were the top goal scorers we saw. I think we saw over nearly 200 goals in action yesterday. So there is maybe a pedestal to get to, but I certainly think that these teams could do it today.
Grav, when you're looking at the likes of Shellzz, when you're looking at NiKSNEB for Crystal Palace, both of those two, they've got to be coming into this one feeling so confident. They've got so much experience.
They got so much experience. I mean, I think they're the favorites in this group, but not only because of the past experience, because I talked to Edu as well, Man City coach, and he told me Shellzz was playing really, really good FC at the moment. So I think they have the pressure on their shoulders. Let's see if they deliver.
Right, well, you guys can get things kicked off for us. The players, they look good to go, and I think that both of you should take it away.
Thank you very much, Carl. Yes, we're back for day 2 in the Premier League. Yesterday, you could say spoiled us a little bit, Gravison. 193 goals we saw yesterday across the 2 group stages. We saw Manchester City, of course, book their spot in a top 8 bracket alongside Brighton of Albion, which, as a Brighton fan, it was nice to see, alongside picking up £5,000 too. Today, we'll be doing the same again, looking for 2 more teams out of these 10 to basically just skip themselves a couple of rounds when we come back in March. And there's no better place to start off with Group C, Crystal Palace against Luton, who you could look at this in 2 ways, Gravison. 2 teams that are in very different scenarios. Crystal Palace are a team that are built up with, you could say, veterans of this tournament.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Shellzz has been competing in the EPL for, I mean, about 5 years now. And NiKSNEB, he did burst into the scene back in 2021, 2020, but still one of the favorites to come up and win the whole thing. So I guess we expect some things from them, and especially goals. Goals, I would say, for Shellzz, we could expect some more defense because he's a really good defensive player at the moment, but NiKSNEB, skills and goals.
Absolutely, mechanically, he is scary. This Luton Town team, though, made up of Harvey Waters and Luke Downing. They're both in their debut of the Premier League. It's a prime example of what this tournament is all about. Welcoming the next future talent through in a £100,000 FC24 tournament. We'll give you an update of a goal that's happened over on the PlayStation now. When we spoke about NiKSNEB being pretty fruitful in the box, look no further. It's only taken them a couple of minutes to get going, and we said how dangerous he's going to be with the skill moves. There you go, Grav.
Yeah, I mean, backstage we were talking with Thomas Lees, Spurs player, and Ryan. And you know, Thomas Lees, be careful with those step over cancels by NiKSNEB. 4 minutes in, step over cancel, goal. I mean, Tom, you were right. You have to be careful.
Sure, and what we are talking about, just the skill moves that are being inputted by Crystal Palace's PlayStation representative in NiKSNEB, who has represented the Eagles for the last 3 ePremier League seasons. It was a top 4 finish last year, another top 4 finish the year before that. It was teammate Ethan Higgins. Now that has changed for someone who's just, you could say, at the same level, if not a little bit better when it comes to this competition. Shellzz has won this tournament before. It's the first time he's playing not in a Manchester City shirt. It's his 4th time in the Premier League, but his first time not representing the blue side of Manchester. Here comes Harvey Waters now, trying to build up in the perfect way possible. Great to see Luton Town as well,
nice
make
press.
their first Premier League. Could be on for an early start, off the post. Henry's not there on the rebound, but Rashford is, and Rashford can't score.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really, really good play by Harvey, the way he decided to just be careful and be patient with the ball. He green timed it with Ginola. I think it should have been 1-0, but then Rashford, that was an even harder chance, and Shellzz now can breathe.
Forget breathing, he might be on to score. Ginola can turn, little reverse elastico, it's silky from him.
I mean, Harvey's playing really good at the moment. He's controlling the game, he's passing it forward every single time.
Well, he's the perfect example of a player, Grav, that is just really owned and worked on his craft. He's been involved in so many sort of online PlayStation tournaments in past times. He's been grinding away in £100 tournaments, just looking to sort of get the reps in, make a name for himself. And if there was one tournament he was going to come through and qualify for, you felt like it was going to be this one.
Yeah, as we always say, that's the main thing about ePremier League.
There's a cutback, Rashford with a step over, Shellzz going for.
You can be 15, 16, you're watching this at home, it motivates you. And if you put the hours, if you put the work, maybe in an hour won't be enough. But if you put, let's say, 4, 5, 6 hours a day, in a couple of years you could be playing here in the biggest stage.
Yeah, 1 hour practice might be all right.
I don't think it will.
Maybe not enough. Of course, if you have just tuned in for the Premier League for the first time, we are playing an ultimate team, which, with these squad restrictions, you are allowed to use any current Premier League player. As that Travella comes in from Rashford, who this time makes no mistake. It wasn't timed by any means, but it flew off the post and in. Marcus Rashford opens the account for Luton Town. The Hatters could be having their best start in their first ever Premier League.
I do think it's a deserved goal because it's their 3rd chance at the moment. I mean, Ginola has been dangerous at this point.
Ginola back to Reece James. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by that Rashford strike. We are playing an ultimate team. You're allowed to use current Premier League players. Also, you're allowed to use heroes, which are on FC24 Ultimate Team, and icons. Those are players that have past played in the Premier League. There are 45 different options for the likes of Henry, to Robert Pires, Gullit, Rio Ferdinand, Schmeichel, Van der Sar, the list goes on. Only a select few, though, will be deemed good enough by these players to be in the starting 11s. We did see a couple of surprise choices yesterday. I think we saw Didier Drogba come off the bench at one point.
Yeah, in Group D, I think he was in the starting 11 for another team as well. So, and he did score a couple of goals with Sheffield United. So yeah, could be a good choice.
Yeah, it was Billy Joe, wasn't it, of Sheffield United. He eventually did score with him. He was a bit of a super sub for the Sheffield United Xbox representative. Here comes Erling Haaland, who was causing nightmares yesterday for so many players. David Ginola, there's the reverse elastic. Oh, there's the finish! It may have took him a little bit long to get going. But his campaign in the ePremier League is officially underway. 1-1 on the stroke of half-time over on our Xbox side here. Lovely little finish. You speak about the intricacies of playing this game at the highest of levels. It's just that. Add a little skill move in. Gives you such a unique angle.
Not only the skill, but the timing. Because, as we just saw yesterday, Tex was in a similar position. He was losing his first match, and then, last kick of the first half, he scored. When the timing was right, he did it. And now Shellzz again. So, of course, skill takes time, but you know what also takes time? Experience. And as you said, Shellzz, 4 years competing in EPL, it pays off.
Absolutely. I mean, it wasn't a great outing for Manchester City last year in this tournament. Unfortunately, they didn't go through to those knockout stages. Since, and as we saw yesterday, Manchester City have had a change of roster there. Matías Bonano and Tex coming in. This is in the other game. It is NiKSNEB leads by 2-0. That one moving into half-time. Now 42 minutes on the clock. Shellzz was in a break. He could enjoy that goal by his teammate. So far, so good for Crystal Palace. Keep in mind at home that you can pick up 6 points from each individual matchup as there is a game on the Xbox and the PlayStation. Yesterday we were saying about how many points would be enough to top the group. I mean, Manchester City, they got 22 points out of 24. I mean, that really set the bar, didn't it? But for Brighton of Albion, 17 points out of 24. They won 5 out of the 8 games. It goes without saying, you can't really be drawing games. You need to be going out and winning at least 5+.
Yeah, at least. But I gotta tell you, in round 1, I think 4 out of 6 is good enough, because Man City did score a couple of goals and they did draw a game in the first round. I think Brighton did as well. So you know how the start of games are a little bit difficult, the first games of the day. So I think if you want to top the group, at least you gotta start with 4 points out of 6. Haaland
Finds Ginola, defended well by Virgil van Dijk and Reece James. That's his Dynasty's promo. Unfamiliar of Ultimate Team, there is a number of promotions that take place. You may have just seen one recently, Team of the Year. Those players are not available to be chosen this weekend. They will be at the end of March. So I expect to see the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson, Haaland. Well, this goes on. Sort of scary when you think about it. Team of the Year Haaland against Team of the Year Virgil van Dijk. It's going to be a battle that will be taking place. There's Rashford, who looks for a second, and he does get it. Fired into the back of the net.
Yeah, poor defense by Shellzz in there. I think he should have switched it a little bit more aggressively with the centre-back, but it wasn't enough. Anyways, really great goal by Harvey, but I think Shellzz could have switched it a little bit better, that situation.
Marcus Rashford popping up with so many of the goals. Yesterday it was Haaland and Ginola leading the way at many times. As we see Haaland now, play a lot there, teased. Henry, could be a chance to turn. Ginola with the step-overs, trying to step over his way out of danger. De Bruyne into Haaland, just enough time. to get the shot away. And for a player playing his first ever ePremier League, so far so good for Luton Town.
I mean, we're impressed at the situation because he has been able to pass the ball back and forth, and I mean, that finish by Haaland. But yeah, for me, the most impressive thing is the composure. He's young, first time playing at the biggest stage, playing against Shellzz, former EPL champion, and he looks locked in.
Could be a chance. And just like that, Shellzz replying in the best way you can, just to halve the deficit. That is so important, Gravison. You concede to go 2 goals down in the tie. You respond seconds later. It just gives you such a different mindset.
Again, that was a little bit of poor defending by Harvey. I will call that lazy defending because he was just defending with the midfielder. He should have been defending with centre-back.
Well, an update over here. Is there a goal back for Luton Town? Luke Downing, there is. 63 minutes on the clock there. Luton find a goal back on the PlayStation side. That's Luke Downing playing his first ePremier League as well. Quite a few debuts across.
Nice press.
This group indeed. 4 out of the 10 players in Group C playing in their first ever ePremier League. Goes to show who isn't here, but also the new names. They've done enough to qualify. Is he onside? No, he's not, Haaland.
There's something about these kids, right? Like, they play here at the biggest stage, first tournament in a LAN environment, and they don't seem scared at all.
You often sit here and say it because it is true. Going from your gaming setup to this studio is quite the difference for a handful of players just to get used to. And that's why it's great that we've got this event now before the knockout bracket finals in May. Ginola looking to find one more. That would have been beautiful if it came off. He tried to find the Elastico and it nearly allowed him just to pick up the right angle and space. Another goal has gone in over on the PlayStation game. Is it an equaliser? No, it's not. It's NiKSNEB going 3-1 up. Just over 15 minutes left in the game there. It looks like the points could be shared, 3 each. As we jump into a pause here, there is just under 20 minutes left on our featured Xbox game. And on our PlayStation game, we're also in a pause there as well. So currently having to wait. Remember, there is a B stream you can watch where at this current moment you are seeing Bournemouth in action. Over there they take on Wolverhampton Wanderers, who have once again got a really stacked roster over there, made up of Kai, who's been an only Wolves representative in the Premier League, played in 3 of them, represented Wolves every time. Then you've got Mitch Hayward as well, someone else who goes undercover. You can just see them on screen there in their game. We won't spoil the result for you. You can go and catch that on our B stream, which is live right now. Live commentary there from Lee Ravel and Richard Buckley. But there's just some names, you just look across, you've got people that just simply love this tournament and they're always here. Mitch Hayward, as we said, there's only ever been 6 Premier Leagues, he's played in 5 of them.
I mean, playing as well for the national team for England. I mean, we have some names in here. Definitely, this group is stacked at the moment.
I didn't realise how stacked Group D is as well. That will come on to a little bit later, but just to tease you. Brentford, Liverpool, Manchester United, Spurs and Arsenal all in the same group.
They have to wait. They have to wait.
A couple of hours' time, that one will be coming live for you. We've got unfinished business in Group C, though, to conclude first. Final 10 minutes here as it stands. Luton Town could be on to their first 3 points in their debut ePremier League season. Shellzz looking to keep Palace unbeaten. They are leading over on the PlayStation. NiKSNEB in front against Luke Downing. And former ePremier League champion. Shellzz do enough to potentially find an equaliser here.
Ginola, no. He has to be patient. He has to be careful because the constant press is coming soon. But he has. being careful at the moment. He doesn't look like a kid who's just playing his first match at the EPL. Not at all.
Try and take a few more minutes out of the game. As he plays all the way back, there's been another goal here. Crystal Palace might not be successful on the Xbox, but they will be on the PlayStation. NiKSNEB, his third year in a row representing the Eagles, looks to find his first 3 points of the tournament. Very mature ending to this one in terms of how he's just keeping possession enough to see the clock out.
That's brilliant.
Added time of 1 minute, Luton Town have done enough to pick up 3 points on the Xbox. As we jump across just to see the ending of the PlayStation side, it looks like the points will be shared. They will pick up points on the PlayStation, so Palace will be on 3 points, Luton will be on 3 points as well. The goal difference swing will be in the favour of Palace, which will just put them in front. Could be a +4 goal difference. NiKSNEB trying to find a way through with Omri, and that should do us there. At the end of match 1 in Group C. The points are shared, 3 apiece. Crystal Palace just in front on a small goal difference bonus there.
But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I don't know about you.
We didn't know what to expect, did we, from Luton Town?
Yeah, I mean, 3 points out of 6 possible against probably the group favourites in Crystal Palace. But not only that, the performance from Harvey, I mean, just the confidence, the timing, the skills, but then the way he just carried himself in those last 10 minutes. I mean, we have to remember, guys, Shellzz is a former EPL champion. That was impressive by Harvey.
Yeah, and he won on a penalty shootout as well, if you cast your mind back all the way to that time ago against Leeds United's Olilito in the grand final there. If you have just tuned in, this is the Premier League 2024 finals. This is the group stages at the moment. We are bringing you, as you said, 2 days of action. I mean, look, I think what we said, NiKSNEB, so good, Shellzz so good of what we've seen in past Premier Leagues, but for Luton Town, just 2 players in their debut tournament here, didn't know what to expect, and you know they both put on a fight. The points are shared.
Yeah, so I guess we did watch them, the best of them playing. So now we're gonna hear from them, from Casey.
All right, I am here with Harvey Waters from Luton Town. Massive win over previous champion Shellzz. How do you feel?
Yeah, obviously he's a great player. I know coming into this, probably Palace are the main team to get out of our group. So I know we've got to try and kind of split the points. So if Luke loses, I've probably got a win to have a chance of going through. Obviously very happy to take 3 points over Palace.
As this is Luton Town's inaugural season, how important is a win like this for your club?
That was huge for our club. You know, they've never been in the Premier League before, so it's their first time. So just very, very good, basically.
Next up, you do have Wolves. Do you have any insights going into that next match?
I know Mitch Hayward's a very good player. Kai, obviously very good as well. I'm sure I can get 3 points. I back Lucas Brown to get 3 points. So, yeah, hopefully we take 6 in that one.
All right, well, great start, and I wish you best of luck in the next round.
Cheers. Thank you.
Back to you.
Thank you, Casey. Great start indeed. What a start it's been to day 2 here at the ePremier League 2024. Do not go anywhere. We'll be dissecting everything we've just seen and looking ahead to our next round of games as well. And we'll be back after this short break. Welcome back to the ePremier League 2024. What a goal this was, securing those 3 points for Luton Town as Harvey Waters managed to beat Crystal Palace's Shellzz. And welcome back to the studio. I'm joined by Ryan Pessoa. Ryan, we've just watched that first game. We talked all about Shellzz and the experience he's got. Not the start he would have wanted, though.
Yeah, definitely not the start. You have to give credit, though, to Luton. I thought Harvey was incredible. I felt like he created a lot of opportunities, some that found the back of the net and some that narrowly went wide, which we'll tap into it in a moment.
Well, let's have a look at some of those chances right now. I mean, what a great opportunity for him being on this stage at the ePremier League, and he certainly grabbed it with both hands, but he was gifted this one.
Yeah, exactly. This one, he was very unfortunate, hitting the inside of the post, the rebound going just wide, but you saw from the clip there, just his high intensity, his pressure, trying to press high up on Shellzz. This is his first goal, building up on the edge of the box. A Travella green-timed finish, which of course increases the precision and accuracy, finding the back of the net. And he took a 1-goal lead in this game. But in terms of chances created as well, I felt as if I would say the pendulum was swinging in his favour. He green times that near post with Rashford as well, with the shot power, and it's hard to save those.
It definitely is, and you can see just there how that momentum can build. Whether you take chances, whether you don't, you've got to make sure you keep positive. He certainly did that, especially when you're coming up against such a tough opponent. That's just shown Luton Town, they're not here to play.
Yeah, exactly. They're here, they understand the task at hand. Or Harvey even mentioned in the interview, they don't see themselves as well, they may see themselves as underdogs, but that doesn't mean they knock their ability. They still back themselves to win. They're confident, and they showed it in the first round.
Well, let's have a look at our results from that first round. We can confirm all of those for you. Crystal Palace taking on Luton, 3 points apiece. Harvey Waters for Luton beating Shellzz, and it was NiKSNEB beating Luke Downing 4-1. And then in our other stream, the B stream, Bournemouth taking on Wolves, Nathan BP 2, Mitch Hayward 2, and VBD 2, Kai Harris 2. Quickly, Ryan, just on that, points being shared in that other game. This is a tight group already.
Yeah, as you said, very tight. The thing is, when you're playing in a group format, every point counts. However, you kind of want to make sure you're still getting 3 points on the board. Just the sort of points being shared is great. We're going to take a look at some of the goals, or a goal from that game. This is Nathan BP's goal up against Mitch Hayward. Twisting and turning on the edge of the box, the step overs, the shot near post. And that was to break the deadlock.
It was indeed 2-2 in that game, and the points have been shared. Very exciting as we build up here in Group C on day number 2 of the ePremier League 2024. And I'm hearing that we can actually hear from that man who we just seen score that goal. Nathan is with Casey.
Yes, I'm backstage with Nathan BP of Bournemouth. He just got off of a 2-2 draw against Wolves. Talk me through that.
Well, obviously I went 1-0 up early. Little cooking, I could say, but like I feel like my problem is that I just didn't take control of the game. I feel like Mitch is one of them players who he likes to play a bit slow and he builds up in it. So I knew realistically, if I get in the final third, I know I'm gonna cook him, but I need to control the game. But obviously he scored, equalised just before half time, and then I knew, I was like, okay, this could be peak, innit? But yeah, got the ball to Havertz, into Ginola, and then I stood there, I was thinking, what are you going to do? But I just elasticoed, I'm dribbling, and then scored. And then, obviously it was leading the game. 85th, I won the ball, and then, gave it away with Haaland, and then he went and scored, and I'm kicking myself because I know, that's 3 points right there that I threw away. And, obviously, when you're in this format, every point counts, and, obviously Dave as well, he was 2-1 up. And he conceded a penalty last minute. And then, it's 2-2, 2 points apiece, and it's what it is.
Well, you have a break now, and then you have another round against Luton Town soon, so I'll let you take that break, but good luck.
Thank you.
Well, that's round 1 done and dusted. Let's have a look how those results affect the table. These are the current standings just here. Crystal Palace and Luton Town, they both sharing those points, so 3 apiece at the top. However, Crystal Palace at the top on goal difference just there. Wolves, they're on 2 points. Bournemouth are on 2 points. And Fulham, who we're yet to see, but they are in the hot seat. They'll be hoping that they'll be able to climb up that table very shortly. Right, well, on to round number 2. Richard Buckley, we've just whet our appetite. You were on the other stream, so I'm hearing. Are you good to go now again?
Mate, I'm always good to go. When do you need me?
Oh, well, right now,
okay.
I need you, OK? Looking ahead to this round number 2 of fixtures. I mean, here we are. You're in the middle of it. Some of the teams are warmed up. For Fulham, they've not quite managed to get there. They've had to sit back and watch everything unfold.
And you know what? I think they'll be quite happy with what they've seen. Nobody really looking that convincing. The most, obviously, convincing player, probably NiKSNEB. Big win for him, but Palace, 6 points might have been what they were looking for. Didn't happen. I think Luton Town look a serious threat as well. And I think for Fulham, I'm very much looking forward to seeing Josh 9 in action. That's a great game. Josh versus Shellzz coming up.
Yeah, it is. I'm really looking forward to that one. And looking ahead to those round 2 fixtures, just looking here, NiKSNEB taking on Messi FTG. NiKSNEB, he is here to really show everyone what he can do because he's been here before. I was speaking to him on the media day. It feels like everyone's talking about Shellzz, but NiKSNEB's got a wealth of experience as well.
Yeah, obviously top 4 in 2022 with Crystal Palace, and I think him not qualifying last year hurt him. I think that was a real disappointing sort of moment in his season. He ended fantastically well, finishing top 2 at the 2v2 Club Championship in the summer, but not making it to this event last year would have been a bitter pill to swallow. And seeing your team, he's a big Palace fan, doing well and you not being involved would have hurt as well.
Right, well, here on our mainstream, we're going to be featuring Fulham and Crystal Palace. We've just been speaking about those players. But remember, you can head across to our B stream to see Luton as they face Wolves.
In the tournament, we're kicking off. Fulham kicking from left to right, Palace from right to left. You spoke briefly there about NiKSNEB's mechanics. I'm going to say this, Brandon. I think NiKSNEB is the most mechanically gifted player in this tournament. Not just this group. I'm talking including yesterday. We've seen Tex, we saw Matthias. I think NiKSNEB, for me, edges it.
Let's see that in action if we can in this game. Kicking off over on the PlayStation first and foremost. Messi FTG, first time in an ePremier League. Let's see what he can do. And how difficult is that in this tournament? We mentioned a handful of players that are on their debuts. As an experienced pro when you were competing in these, Ryan, you don't really know how to prepare for them because they often offer such an orthodox style of play that you're not always used to.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can look at it 2 ways. For me, the way that I tended to look at it, being the underdog sometimes can work in your favour. There's less pressure. There's less footage of you from previous tournaments for your opponent to rehearse on and to study on, whereas you can potentially have a whole catalogue of gameplay footage, for example, over NiKSNEB to prepare for. As NiKSNEB builds up here.
Mohamed Salah, back to Rodri. Here's NiKSNEB looking to get cooking. Lloris does just enough.
Good keeper movement.
To save that one on the second time of asking. And now we can see both players on the screen. Can't imagine the nerves playing in your first ever ePremier League. Here's NiKSNEB again. Haaland, couple of step overs. This is where he can really speed things up and get dangerous. Just watch and learn. We're looking at the team across this side. No Kevin De Bruyne by the looks of it. On the side of Fulham. Midfield duo of Rodri and Hullet. No surprises there, leading the way in the attacking sense. Willian, his FC Pro Live item, Haaland on the left-hand side. And what looks to be Heung-min Son. No, Rashford also involved in this Fulham team. I guess everyone has got their own personal preferences. Here's Kai Havertz, that's his left-back Winter World Cup. Back to Willian, a man who costs so many coins. Rodri punching to his feet, can he turn Ginola? Does so well, see you later, 1-2 defender steal. That could have been special.
Yeah, the controlled sprint there, the technical plus coming in handy, weaving in the box. Couldn't find the back of the net, but a corner, we've seen how effective they can be.
Ginola played short, this corner towards that post, it's Fulham that take the lead in this one, 22 minutes in. It's another player on their debut season in this tournament who leads by a goal to nil. We also have another goal to give you in the other game. It's on the plate, on the Xbox side, sorry. It's Josh against Shellzz. There's been a goal in that one, and it's Fulham that have led in both games.
See the step over there, exiting on the right, getting the shot of just about off the inside of the post. Josh 9 taking the lead against Shellzz. It's a great start from Fulham so far.
It's an interesting pass there from Kai Havertz as he's dispossessed.
Take a look at the back post.
Haaland could be in acres here. Can he find him? Yes, he can! But he can't find the target. What is going on with these touches, by the way? What is going on there? Once or twice now. It was Kai Havertz, then it was Erling Haaland. It's still goalless in our B-Stream games between Luton Town and Wolverhampton Wanderers. You can catch that on the B-Stream live now. As it is Bournemouth that sit out of this round. Tell you what, NiKSNEB hasn't really been able to play so far, has he?
Yeah, he's been trying to find spaces to build up. De Bruyne tackled it from behind. Messi FTG winning possession again. I think he's comfortable just to keep possession, slow the clock down, 6-minute halves. He knows he's in the lead, he's potentially in a position just to frustrate NiKSNEB, to limit him to a few chances and possession.
Happy to see this towards half-time as well. Keep in mind, it's not just silverware and money on the line. There is also fast-track tickets to other tournaments in the FC Pro season, including the Champions League Pro World Finals. So edge your way towards the playoffs there also. NiKSNEB does not look happy by any means. 40 minutes gone in this game. He's had a small few animations that haven't gone his way, but also it's just his emotions are clear to see so far in this game. Rashford, one-on-one against the defender, great chance to pull away. That's a horrible tackle. Is it going to be a red card as well? Virgil van Dijk could be in trouble. He looked to be the last man.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
And he's got a red card. This changes the game completely.
That stem there from NiKSNEB. Step over, cancel into a step over, get the speed boost in behind. And it left Messi FTG with a limited amount of options. It was either move the goalkeeper, predict the shot, and see if it works in your favour, or make the risky tackle. And he ended up receiving a red card just before half-time. We're able to take a look at it again, Brandon. It's just the twisting and turning, the step over, the pace as well.
He's saying it's not a red
Yeah,
card.
he thinks he's saying he's got the ball.
I think we've all done that, haven't we? Yeah. Great example there, though, isn't it, Ryan, of a skill move that just gives you the extra boost there. The step over exit, a little bit of an acceleration boost. You just can't catch him.
Yeah, absolutely. For those at home, wondering whether or not it's worth adding step overs into your game. It definitely is. Free kick edge of the box here. NiKSNEB, 41 minutes played.
Well, where's he patched up? That's the question. We'll talk more about that as this free kick does come in. He's going to go for a direct shot. Marcus Rashford is there, and it's into the back of the net. Shellzz even enjoyed that one. Woo. You didn't really know what was going to go on. Often so easy to put someone on the line as well. He tried to, he went the other way. Marcus Rashford. 1-1. That red card changes the game. But what I wanted to say was, where are you sacrificing on the pitch?
It depends on the formation. I think most players in previous years opted to potentially go to a 4-2-3-1, remove the striker, have the red card up front, and then use the attacking midfielders as the outlets. But I think some players may opt for a 4-3-2-1 as well. As we say, this changes the dynamics of the game completely in NiKSNEB's favour.
And suddenly a goal goes in.
Behind as well.
Look how confident
another
you are.
tackle here. This has to be another card, or maybe not. Time for one last attack for NiKSNEB. He's going to play it short.
Can he grab another one before the break? Haaland is there. He's stronger. Kai Havertz's touch is terrible. He might be made to pay for this one. Do you know? No, it's brilliant from NiKSNEB. One goal becomes two. All he needed was a goal to come alive. And by God, hasn't he just come alive? Look at this again on the replay. Watch now. Bang.
Yeah. The scariest part about playing NiKSNEB, when he stands still on the edge of the box, genuinely the whole catalogue of skill moves in the game, he understands when and where to use them. He's used the step over for the pace boost to get the shot off in the box. As we say, that red card just completely changes the game now.
It does, from what was a really confident Messi, you can argue. Like he was managing the game for about 35 minutes there.
Yeah, exactly. I know that the goal, it did, well, there was, when I say a slice of luck in terms of the ball bouncing back to him a couple of times, misplacing a little chip ball to Haaland and it fell back in his favour. It happens, but in order to make the most of those opportunities, NiKSNEB just does just that.
Absolutely, 2-1 at the break. The PlayStation game is in at the halfway point. The Xbox game has kicked off for the second half. We'll quickly just check in there to give you the lowdown. I believe it's not that long into the second half, only 6 minutes in. It still is 1-0. I mean, for someone that you know better than us, Ryan, Shellzz could be on his way to 2 defeats.
Yeah, it's been a tough start playing against somebody like Josh 9. I played him in previous tournaments in the ePremier League as well. He's a tough competitor. He knows when and where to keep possession. He resorts to game management when appropriate. He's very passionate as well with his celebrations, which is what I admire as well. But there's still a remainder left in this game. He's just lumped it straight to so.
I was speaking to him backstage before we kicked off today. I said, "What's to you and your teammate playing for the first time? Your teammates playing the ePremier League for the first ever time." I think he gave me the most media answer ever. I said, "How's he feeling?" He went, "Yeah, I just told him to play with a smile on his face."
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be smiling after that red card. Shellzz. Show us what you've got. We're going to see it now. How has Van der Sar saved that one? Attack still is alive. De Bruyne into Son. Van der Sar again. He's just riding the waves. Bukayo Saka looks like he's been introduced. Is there a way back in this one for Man City? Man City? Crystal Palace.
So used to seeing him at City. Look at the space on the right side of the pitch.
Look at the line and look how many Palace shirts are trying to exploit it. Trying to make it so difficult, playing a high line. Ginola, is he done enough? Van Dijk tries to do his enough. Can Rashford turn his man? No, he can't. Palace still waiting patiently for the right time to strike.
So congested in there from Josh. He's got his defensive set up perfectly. A corner.
One of those as well. You just don't know how to find your way through all the white Fulham shirts. Done a great job there, Josh, of making it so compact. Wins a goal kick for his efforts into the pause when we go. 22 there. Let's jump back over to the PlayStation where there has been nearly an equaliser there for the 10 men of Fulham. Shot was saved out for a corner. Let's see what Messi FTG can do from here. I like the idea. Varane and Haaland were in there, but neither player was found. Great feet, Rashford. Look at the space on this left-hand side. There it is. Player look teased there for Rashford. Didn't need him. One more goal certainly would seal the deal in this one. Adama Traore comes on to freshen up the pace. You notice that Kyle Walker does come in as a centre-back. Just to patch up the red card error. Or Virgil van Dijk. Keep it on the bottom half of your screen. So much space on this left-hand side if Rodri wants to find it.
Space opened up in the
other
middle.
way, Son. Tried to sort of shift it and move on to his left boot. NiKSNEB has a pause cued. He's looking to bring on a couple of late changes. Haaland has time, so is Ginola. There's a shot coming in at any point, maybe Trivela from the edge of the box. There's Rodri, Mohamed Salah, timed it green. We jump back across, Ryan. Latest over on the Xbox. Where are we?
Ooh. Just in time, Shellzz equalising. We take a look at it there. David Ginola and McGeady cancel into Henry, just about gets it out of his feet and puts it into the corner.
Just good for him to get some points on the board early doors, isn't it? Sets the tone. 1-1 here, Josh Knight against Shellzz. Former Premier League champion of Manchester City now. Representing Crystal Palace this year. His teammate in NiKSNEB. So far on 3 points from their round 1 game against Luton Town. Looking to try and make it a maximum of 6. Kunku comes on.
Risky.
And it goes out for a goal kick in the end. A couple of updates in the other game. Luton Town drawing 1-1 in one of their games and losing 3-1 in the other. On the Xbox, you can catch that live now on our B stream here with the ePremier League. If you are looking to follow the likes of Spurs, Arsenal, Brentford, Manchester United or Liverpool, that comes up a little bit later on this evening in Group D. We are playing out each group to find the leading team that will be basically fast-tracking their way through to the top 8 of this tournament. Coming back on the 26th, 27th of March. We have a live penalty to give you now. It's on a replay, here we go. Huge chance. And maybe a huge mistake from NiKSNEB. What a moment this could be, 10 men on the pitch of Fulham, goes down the middle and misses, but then we jump back across because Shellzz has just scored a massive goal there for Heung-min Son and Crystal Palace. He could be on his way to his first 3 points in this group.
Absolutely crazy sequence of events. Henry controlled sprint towards the byline, a simple pass across the goal there. Heung-min Son puts it in the back of the net. You can see how much it means to Shellzz and Venny. 5 minutes left to go. We're back in the game. NiKSNEB up against Messi FTG.
Holding on, isn't he? Fortunate not to concede from the penalty. Messi knows what a chance that was wasted. Only 10 players on the pitch. It was a gift to get a penalty. Maybe a bit of game management here from NiKSNEB. Crystal Palace could be on to get 6 points. That'll put them on 9 out of 12 in Group C. Not a bad start, depending on results elsewhere.
Great step. He's in behind as well if you can find him. He's not going to risk it. He's going to play the clock down. It will be 1 minute added on. Oh my goodness, the switch of play. Players out off the pitch.
I think the third official got in the way there.
Messi FDG will have a chance. He's given it away from the throw-on. All he has to do is just keep possession for these last seconds.
Yeah, job done, Crystal Palace. 3 points on the PlayStation. Let's go and close out the Xbox stages there. It's going to be 0 points by the looks of it for Fulham. What could have been, Ryan?
As we said, those moments, the penalty, conceding as well, straight in the other game, almost at the same moment. Fulham have to go forward. Look at the back post.
Haaland is there, queuing up, waiting for a ball to find him. Martinelli comes in off the bench. We haven't seen him involved. Two very interesting picks there from Josh. You had Bukayo Saka on earlier. Gabriel Martinelli comes on. There is super subs. Added time of 2 minutes. Shellzz and NiKSNEB look like they're going to get maximum points from round 2. It would put them top of the table. 9 points from 12.
This is the experience from Shellzz. Keeping possession. I thought I was going to jinx it. Keeping possession and does enough to get 3 points. He was 1-0 down. Turned it around 2-1. That's Crystal Palace maximising that round 2. 6 points against Fulham. It was tough for them. They were both leading in situations in their game. The red card for Messi FTG against NiKSNEB completely changed the dynamics of that game.
I mean, what an entertaining game as well, Ryan. It was back and forth. We had a red card, we had a penalty that was saved in the games. But Crystal Palace, they're finding their groove.
Yeah, as you said, they needed that. The first round, I think, for Shellzz, he just wanted to get some points on the board, losing that first game against Luton and Harvey Walter. It was very important to bounce back, and he done that.
Absolutely, he really did. He's looking very confident indeed. So good to get your first 3 points in this ePremier League tournament for NiKSNEB. I mean, it's 2 from 2 from him. 9 points from 12 for Crystal Palace. We'll get the results from our B-Stream games when we can from Luton and Wolves. But in the meantime, I believe Casey is picking up a conversation with NiKSNEB off the back of that another win.
Yes, I'm here with NiKSNEB, who had a very hard-fought win there. Walk me through that one.
Yeah, that second game was really, really tough. I went for it in all ways. The first half, didn't really see the ball. He went 1-0 up, and then I got a bit of counter. He got a red card, which got me back in the game. But yeah, it's great for it in the end. 2-1, even saved the penalty in the 86th minute or something, kept me alive. But yeah, I don't think I'll have another game like that really, where I'm like, I really fought to win that. I didn't play well at all, but I'm happy with take the 3 points. That's all that matters.
And it's not just 3 points, because your teammate Shellzz also got 3 points as well. So how does it feel to add 6 points there?
Yeah, very good. 6 points is the most you can get, and he's confident going into the next game. I think we have a break now, but yeah, confident vibes going into game 4, which is more important.
All right, well, I will let you take that little bit of a rest, but a good round that was.
Thank you. Cheers.
Back to you.
What a round that was indeed. Unbelievable stuff. I promised you excitement here at the ePremier League, and we're certainly delivering. Make sure you stay exactly where you are. We will try to dissect everything when we're back from this short break. And what a moment this was. What an unbelievable finish as well. We heard from him before. NiKSNEB firing that goal in, and Crystal Palace ensuring they took all 6 points from that game. Well, we are back. We've got plenty to talk about. Richard Buckley, we're in your spot right now, the analysis zone, we're calling it, and there was plenty to talk about. First off, how difficult was it picking a clip?
For me, quite easy. Oh. Because I feel like the game turned on one moment, and it's the moment that we're going to look at. It's the red card for Messi FTG. It was just such a pivotal moment. It came through brilliance, genuine genius from NiKSNEB. The step over cancel into the step over, and you're stuck in this decision right now. You've got Virgil van Dijk with Marcus Rashford in on goal. Do you take him down, you're 1-0 up, or do you let him go through on goal?
You're asking me?
I am.
Look at the scoreline. You're already winning 1-0. If you're losing 1-0 and they're going to hopefully make it 2, I think you've got to take him down, but you've got to think you're winning. Stay on your feet.
There's so much time left in the game. You've got an entire half playing with 10 men against one of the best players, not only in the country, but in the world. You bring him down, and then what happens? Marcus Rashford sticks it in the top corner. It's just decision-making at the end of the day. I think for me, you probably let him go through. You let him have it. Also, it's Van Dijk that gets sent off, the best defender on the game, your best centre-back. You're playing against him, against 10 men, and this free kick is just unbelievable. He put a man on the line, he went to the other side, he's whipped it in the top corner, nothing the keeper can do. Big 3 points for NiKSNEB, because before that red card, he wasn't seeing the ball.
Game management, we pointed out a few things, the score, the timing as well. Do you think that was just poor? Do you think that that's because you maybe made a mistake being at a big tournament like the ePremier League?
I don't know. I really don't know. We've got to ask him, what's going through your mind? Why did you bring him down? I think it's sort of that split-second decision-making. You bring him down, you give away the penalty, free kick, may as well have been a penalty because he stuck it in the top corner. You get down to 10 men, and the game from then on out, you're chasing an uphill battle.
And some of those moments, it just happens, doesn't it, where you've got to capitalise on it, and NiKSNEB, he knows what he's doing. He's not going to give up that opportunity, that chance, and once you've got 10 men against a player like that, it was no coming back.
Yeah, there were no real chances for him. Before that, we have to say, though, we were watching that game, and I kept looking over to Ryan in the commentary booth, because Ryan's just shaking his head like, I can't believe he's keeping this much of the ball. Like, NiKSNEB didn't get a touch for like 40 minutes of that game. The red card comes in, the game completely changes, and SNEB goes on to pick up a big 3 points. I think he saw that in the interview as well. He knew that were a battle, and he's come out on top.
Well, there was other action happening on Stream B. You might have had both of them up, so you might know what's actually coming up. Luton Town taking on Wolves. And I think we can look at one of those goals just now. Yes, Kai Harris making it 3-1. He sealed those 3 points in his game, ensuring that, well, Wolves, they were climbing up that table just there. We'll give you those full results a little bit later on. But before we get into that, I think it's time that we have a little look ahead to group number D. Yes, group D. Group number D? There isn't a group number D. Group D, I should say. As we look to some of their players, who's in that group? A huge team, Liverpool, and Dariush, well, Casey's been catching up with him.
I'm lucky enough to be here today with Dariush from Liverpool. We have to talk about your qualifying process because you took down one of the greats. You took down Stokes. So can you tell me a bit about that?
Well, I don't go into tournaments picking my teams, like trying to avoid people. So I support Liverpool, always have. So I always wanted to play for Liverpool. And the fact that Stokes is a United fan kind of gave me a bit of extra fuel. Don't want a United fan representing Liverpool. But it was a tough game, and it was one of the hardest, sweatiest games I've ever had in my life. Beat him twice, though, so I do think I deserve to come through. And yeah, it was very tough. But
yes, I mean, no, it's exciting because you beat him twice, which is not an easy task. He's a previous champion, and I know that he wanted to come back and win that again. So congrats on that one. But let's look forward a bit. Your teammate is Stingray Jr. Tell me about how you're feeling with him because he's won the Ligue 1 and he has a lot of accolades. Tell me about that.
Well, it applies a little bit of pressure because obviously you want to, if he wins all his games and I don't win any, then the pressure's there for me, but at the same time it relieves pressure because say I slip up and I get a draw or like a late loss, he can drag me out the trenches as well, but I do feel confident with him next to me.
Now your group is a bit sweaty. What are your thoughts going into that? Who do you think is your biggest competition?
Biggest competition is obviously Tom Lees. He's great. He's won it before, I think, in the past, and But I beat Stokes, so at the end of the day, if I can beat Stokes, I think I can put my mind to it and I can beat anyone.
Well, you guys heard it here first. Spurs versus Liverpool is about to be a battle. Thank you very, very much, Darius.
Well, if that doesn't get you excited for Group D, I don't know what is going to. Brandon, great to have you on the desk. Nice to join me just here. Before we get too ahead of ourselves and focus on Group D, let's talk about Group C. We're going into round 3 of these matches. If the first 2 are anything to go by, Bournemouth against Luton, Wolves against Fulham, these are going to be quite exciting.
They are indeed. I mean, look, I think we know that Crystal Palace have set the tempo and there's no better way for them to be able to sit out in this break now. 9 points from 12. They are top of the tree. The case is now, who wants to put pressure on them in that second spot? I think Bournemouth-Luton, there's a really good chance for one of them two to be one of those 2 teams. But for Fulham, they need to get some points on the board, don't they?
And looking at that matchup, we'll be watching VBD taking on Luke Downing. I mean, Luke's just lost 3-1 against Wolves, Kai Harris. This is how that match and all the others have affected the standings. Crystal Palace at the top with 9, Wolves on 6, Luton Town on 4, Bournemouth 2, Fulham on 0 points as it stands. I mean, huge matchup because everything can change. You could literally jump, let's say you're Luton, from 3rd all the way up to the top spot. Crystal Palace, they're out of this round. So Luton Town, if they win both of their matches, they could go to the top.
I think especially for someone of, Luke Downing's quality, it's his first time in the Premier League. No doubt there would have been some nerves there. Hasn't picked up a point yet. But then for Bournemouth, I mean, too many draws can really sort of kill you in these group stages. So they need to try and find their first win. Interesting game coming up, and it will be a big one in terms of who's going to be putting the pressure on.
It will be indeed, right. It's time to take your pick on B-Stream. Wolves and Fulham are about to kick off here in our main show, though. Bournemouth face off against Luton Town.
In the second game, probably the second best player on your side on PlayStation. That was a 4-1 and a 3-1 loss respectively. He's looking to just pick it up. On the other side of it, for Dave, very big Dave, VBD, 2-2 draw in the first game. And you're sort of looking to build hope. That was against Kai Harris of Wolverhampton Wanderers. And then he was obviously sat out in the last match. Second game for Bournemouth coming up. Luke Downing, one of the best up-and-coming players in the country. He's now got a chance to prove himself on the biggest of stages and get some points to his name. Luton from right to left, all in white, and from left to right.
Beautiful. Oh, deserved the goal. That was lovely build up there from Luke Downing.
Interesting corner all the way back.
Look at Rafa Varane, triggered run.
It's not where it's going to go on this occasion, with just a little bit of more calm possession for Luke. Kai Havertz picks it up into David Ginola. Reversal, let's go around the corner. Gets a little bit fortunate, and the red time shot does come in. He only hitting the side netting. Set plays, corners in particular, have been massive.
Absolutely.
In the EPL so far. It's sort of, I don't want to necessarily say a skill gap, but it's been a decisive moment.
Yeah, there is
in a lot of these games.
I think there is a skill gap to taking set pieces and corners. You have to put the practice in to perfection, or to make them become perfection. We see Luke down and building up again. But as you say, a corner can genuinely just separate a game. It can turn a game on its head. Driven into Ginola. Henry, back again, near post.
Nice. It's really nice at the near post. He had one already, hit the red time, hit the side netting this time around. No mistake whatsoever for Ginola. And it's been a pretty one-sided opening 12 minutes, you've got to say. Luton Town having all the ball. And you see the reaction there from Luke as he goes 1-0 up.
Yeah, blistering start. Deserves to take the lead, in my opinion, from his first chance. He makes good of the second.
Bit straight back from kickoff as well. Chance for Dave to just get his foot on the ball. Move forward. Rashford out wide. Good turn. Gets away from Havertz. The byline is where he's going to go. Driven back. Hullik. Great block for Kyle Walker. Goal-saving goal. Speaking of goals, let's head on over to the reverse fixture of Bournemouth v Luton. And Luton having all of the chances right now. Erling Haaland, a menace.
Yeah, he scores everything. Funny enough, though, neither player in this game using Erling Haaland or opting to use him up front. I think for me,
he's got to be in the team.
He has to be. The things he offers, of course, in possession, he isn't nimble. You can't really twist and turn. But once you get in behind with the pace and the power,
a big forehead.
Yeah, the heading back post. Oh my goodness, I would say he's almost essential, but maybe off the bench he could be just as impactful as well.
We saw Drogba brought on yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was Billy Joel for Sheffield. Yep.
Didn't quite have the impact that he would have wanted. However, it just goes to show that the pool is quite deep, and if you, in terms of the player selection, if you're willing to have a deep dive in there, there is a lot of items that you can use, such as this man, Thierry Henry, puts Luke down in 2-0 up.
Yeah, Luke's cooking. The step over, the exit to get the angle for the shot. We have to take a look at the highlight. It's been a blistering start, genuinely. He's been phenomenal, playing up towards the byline, the step over, the near post finish. The little fist bump. 2-0 up now for Luton.
And for Luton Town, if you've got hopes of finishing top, these are the games that you have to win. No disrespect to Dave and Bournemouth, but you've played 2 games earlier. You've not picked up any points individually. You've got to beat the people around you.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned how you spoke about how he's already played NiKSNEB, he's played Kai Harris, who on paper are 2 of the favourites in this group.
Could be a third here. Mohamed Salah taking over into De Bruyne. Salah looking to get onto his left foot, not too confident on the right.
I don't think he anticipated getting the clear shot at goal there with Mo Salah. If he had just gone directly for goal, it could have led to the goal number 3.
When I was watching that game, Dave against Kai Harris in the opening fixture, he went 1-0 down, and he actually turned the game around 2-1. It was a 91st minute penalty for Kai to salvage a point. It did take him a little while to get into the game. That's what he's looking to do here. He started slow, but he's just turning the cog ever so slightly.
Yeah, as we said, that's more things we'd want to see from VBD. Getting a goal back, it's now 2-1. Slow, patient build-up, getting a simple finish. There's nothing extravagant you have to do. There's no skill move cancellations. It's just very simple pass move, finding the spaces, finding the angles.
I don't think the problem he's going to have, though, it's one leg, it's 6-minute halves. You don't have if you're starting slow, you don't have a lot of time to get back into it. We're not playing 9-minute halves. We're not playing 2 legs aggregate scoreline. It is quite the games can get away from you quite fast. I mean, you've had ePremier leagues in the past where it's not going to plan sort of in the group standings. You just play game after game after game, and before you know it, you've got 3 points out of the 4 games available.
Yep, and I think that the punishing thing is are draws. I said it at the start. You can look at it one way in terms of you're taking points off of your opposition. However, it still leaves you in the pack. Or if another team is gaining 3 points consistently, they can just pull away from you. Before you know it, it's mathematically impossible for you to go through if you keep relying on draws. As you say, starting slow, momentum is very, very key. Gaining confidence early on.
Just having even a win on the board just can completely change your entire sort of outlook on the group.
Yep.
especially when the top spot is what everyone's aiming for, that #1 seed. For the rest of the group, it will dictate where you are placed in the bracket. However, #1 is what every single team wants to be. You never know, you might end up in a reverse fixture, a round of 16 match against someone from your group, or a quarter-final against someone from your group. So having that previous experience of beating them could be huge. VBD has a chance to go in here. Pegging at 2-2 at the back post. Lovely rework of the ball from right to left. Mohamed Salah sticks it in after being 2-0 down, after looking potentially lost at sea after 25 minutes. He's going at half-time, level pegging.
Yep, exactly. A perfect moment to score. Just passing in the area. Mo Salah near post finds the back of the net. That stemmed, though, from a mistake from Luke Downing, trying to switch play. And it deflected, I believe, off of one of his own players or the opposition, and it fell to VBD to take advantage of. We go into half-time, 4 goals shared between both of these players.
His first event for VBD, very big Dave, as you might know him online. I think I asked you this question yesterday, and there were a goal that sort of disrupted your answer, so I'm going to ask you again now while there's no goals. First event, when it doesn't go well for you in the first couple of games, maybe you get a draw that you should have been a win, you get a draw, you get a loss that should have been a draw. How do you bounce back? How can you turn that corner? How can you get yourself going? Is it like a result like this where you look pretty poor for the first 20 minutes and then you go into half-time drawing? Just confidence.
Of course, it stems from confidence. I think for some players, for me, for instance, confidence stems from the way you're playing. Sometimes, obviously, the results don't come. If you can be playing well and still lose. However, you can be playing badly and still win. For me, I gain confidence based on if I feel as if I'm playing well, mechanically I'm doing...
Performance level.
Yeah, exactly, as I've been practicing. As we see VBD building up, driven past it.
Confidence is his middle name right now. Very big confidence. No, it don't work. Not the same. You're speaking of confidence, Luke Downing on a downward trajectory right now. He's 2-0 up, he looks flying out the gates.
Switches on.
See that fullback nice and high, Kai Havertz. Chipped over the top, Van Dijk nowhere to be seen, but gets bailed out by Varane in the end. We have another matchup taking place in this fixture. Nathan and Harvey Waters for Bournemouth and Luton Town. Crystal Palace, the group leaders, sitting out of this round. Kyle Walker, a lot of space, cuts it back. Henri, Travella, what a save from Edwin van der Sar.
It's a great save, good composure there from Luke. He could have played the first time football with Kyle Walker, but he opted to push further towards the byline.
De Bruyne, back post, he sent the run. Nodded it across.
Oh, deserved the goal. Deserved the goal.
I think it's the defender, he's got something on it. You're fuming if you've done that move.
Yeah, that was honestly, he's built up perfectly there. I think that's a corner technique he's practiced on several times. Good defending there. He had to time that to perfection. Otherwise, he would have definitely given up a key goal-scoring opportunity.
They tried it a bit earlier, didn't he? Because I even said, oh, that's a strange corner. He played it all the way back. But when you say triggering runs, what's all that about? Why would I trigger a run? How do I trigger a run?
Triggering run is very simple. It's either you can do it whilst in possession, as we'll speak about after this attack. Luton building up.
Henri just gets the benefit of the doubt. Step overs, exit. Harvey 2-0 up. Nathan asking questions, but cannot simply find an answer right now.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate goal to concede. I know it feels, honestly. That one there is difficult because you feel as if you've cut the lane well, and it's fallen back advantageously into Thierry Henry. Green time finish from Harvey to put it into the corner. 2-0. We're going back to the other game.
I'll pick up the triggering runs when we get a break.
Yeah.
Ginola for Dave. Back to Kevin De Bruyne. Ryan Pessoa's got his hands in the air. Why did he shoot?
Those are the opportunities genuinely you pray for in the box. You're the 5-star skiller. You've got him in a position where he has to make a decision, and you've passed it backwards.
See Henri at the top of the pitch. He's come to the far side. It's Havertz back into Ginola. Extra pass. Haaland! Dave, after being 2-0 down, finds himself 3-2 up.
Redeemed himself from that mishap. He has, but Again, similar to the goals he scored earlier on, both or all three of the goals have been very simple. He isn't doing anything spectacular. It's just making use of the space and the players, the overloads he's creating.
Waited for the goalkeeper movement ever so slightly.
Very composed. He has to do that. Could be conceding straight away from kickoff if he's not careful.
Henry, he's going to have the better of Van Dijk. Gets in front of him. Red timed. What has happened to Luke Downing in his second half?
Yeah, that is... that's what I speak about in terms of confidence. Right there for me.
You're greening that. I won't even take the time shot on if I'm not feeling it.
I would wait and see, because goalkeeper movement in that position, for me, you sort of have to make a decision as a defender there. You have to move the goalkeeper.
Expect him to move to the side.
Yeah, so for me, if I'm going to green it, I would honestly try and green near post. But maybe that's just speaking in hindsight, because we already saw the goalkeeper move, but...
Out wide, Kyle Walker. He's been impactful. However, Kai Havertz has defended well, I've got to say, with 17 minutes left to play. Will there be a pause cued? The press is in from Luton. Henry, Janola, Rashford tucks it in the far corner. Great game, 3 apiece.
That's exactly how he got a goal against Shellzz in the first game.
Stuck it on him.
So we saw a goal, happen against Shellzz in the first game, where the high press came into effect there. Henry, Boro passing it back.
Interesting finish from Rashford.
Yeah, didn't get too much power behind it, just managed to find it. Scuffed it, found the back of the net. But both Luton players in Harvey and Luke pressing high up the pitch, making the opposition make some mistakes. I think that's just offside.
Yes, good eyes. That's what laser eye surgery does for you.
Yeah, it does. The money well spent.
Not missing that, not missing that. Janola just fired out of play with 10 minutes left. We've got a pause in this particular matchup. I think the other game is back underway, so we'll head over there very shortly. Here we are, 3-3, game on, 13 minutes left to play. Maybe the pendulum has swung back in the favour of Luton Town now, scoring the last goal in this game, and seemingly with all the intentions of not just taking a point, but taking all 3. Kevin De Bruyne firing Luton Town back into the lead. What a game.
I think as it stands, that puts them top of
Maybe a
Group
6-point
C.
haul, yeah.
You see the Boro, De Bruyne, 5-star weak foot. Maybe we can tap back in now to triggering runs. Do we have time?
Okay, talk to me, talk to me.
Triggering runs is very easy to do. All you have to do, if you're in possession, you hold down LB or L1, depending on your favorite console. And the person in possession, if you lay off the pass, then goes on a forward run. However, if you're off the ball, you're controlling somebody. If you tap L1 and aim the left stick towards them, it causes them to make a darting run. So that's the key thing about FC24. It's all about finding overloads, finding mismatches in terms of numbers.
Are you talking about a mismatch, whether it be in height?
A mismatch in terms of the number of personnel defending or attacking. So let's say
3 against 2 on the far side?
Yeah,
or
that's why most players play the 4-3-2-1. They have the left back or the right back on balance. It's used as a massive outlet, whether it's in this situation. Oh, my goodness.
He's won the ball. High press again. Janola, what's the decision making?
He's fluffed his lines. Richards is on the floor. He's fluffed his lines. That could have been an awful goal to concede there from Luke. A massive mistake. Stoic response there from Dave. He knows he's not happy. I haven't seen him celebrate. I haven't seen him do anything. He has to score. It's 3 versus 1.
Talk about overloads. Talk about mismatches. Back on board here. 4-3. Corner comes in. Rodri. Twisting, turning. Maybe not the one you want with nimble feet, but he'll do a job for you. Janola, he's more like it. Good tackle from Varane.
He's giving it away again? What is going on?
Can't keep hold of the ball. Either player. De Bruyne, driven pass. Haaland, left-footed strike, bounces off his own player. Luton have got a chance to come away from the other end. With Haaland just running. Kyle Walker, does he have the pace or strength to catch him? He's got both. One last chance. A very big Dave.
Left back switches on. This is what I was talking about, mismatches here.
Oh, just kept it in. Ashley Cole. Janola, Haaland's making a run. Henry's making a run. Cole's gone on beyond. Where's he going to play? Rodri. Vieira. Fresh Vieira as well, off the bench. There's one man you want to come on and tighten up that midfield. It's Big Patrick, and that will do us. Luton with a huge win His back was up against it, Luke Downing. He's picked up 3 points.
Massive, massive game there. 3 points for Luton. He was 2-0 up, gave it away. I believe he went 3-2 down.
He did, yeah.
And then turned it around 4-3. So it shows resilience. It shows the mentality. And I'm sure he'll be happy with that.
It looks like there's a full time in the other game as well, because Harvey just taking a picture of the result there. Could be a 6-point haul for Luton Town. 6 points, both wins for Luton Town. It will propel them up the table right now. Harvey with a 2-0 win against Nathan BP. What are your thoughts on Luton Town? They're a little bit of a surprise package.
Yeah, very impressive. I feel as if they're definitely keeping themselves in the conversation to finish first in the group. And there's a number of teams challenging and vying for that spot. Wolves as well. We have Crystal Palace who are up there and amongst it. So yeah, a massive result for them.
Words of encouragement for Bournemouth?
It's a difficult one because, in my opinion, they started off in a position where they should have had 6 points. They conceded 2 goals late on in the first round. I think from then it sort of derailed their mentality. You can tell they seem a bit deflated.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Luton Town can do for the rest of this table. However, we can hear from Luton Town, the table toppers, with Casey right now.
Yes, I'm here with Luke from Luton Town. Massive 4-3 win here. It was a bit mixy at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very mixy. I mean, 2-0 lead to start, looked comfortable, then gave away a lot of free goals and then got the lead, but the last 5-10 minutes were very shaky. So we need to work on that for the last game.
These 2 results, though, I believe do put you at the top of the group. So how is that feeling?
It feels good, but obviously Palace have played less games than us, so it doesn't mean too much at the minute, but we'll see what it's like coming into the last game.
All right, well, that last game is going to be very, very important, so we need to make sure to tune in, but I'll let you get a break. Back to you, Kyle.
Thank you, Casey. Wow, drama here at the ePremier League 24. Luton Town go to the top of Group C. Don't go anywhere. We'll be having a look at all of that action as it happened and giving our thoughts after this short break. Well, what a moment this was. We heard from the man himself, Luke Downing, as he managed to score that 4th goal and a slight response. Nothing too big, he still had some time to do it, but he certainly did just that, and he managed to secure the 3 points as well as his teammate. Luton Town going to the top of Group C after those games just there. Let's talk about some of this analysis. Brandon, you're back at the desk with me just here. What did you make of that last game in that round?
Massive for Luton, wasn't it? I mean, look, you could look into that in so many ways. These two players, we didn't know what to expect from them coming into the Premier League. And he was, remember, leading 2-0 in this game, then conceded 2 goals. He said it was a little bit mixy-matchy, had some big chances which he did miss, and it's so easy to get into your own head in these moments when it's not going your way.
Well, currently there it was 2-2, and those chances just weren't happening for him. Losing 3-2 at this point, 68th minute. But Brandon, sometimes you just need it to go your way, and when it's not, how do you manage to turn that favour and that luck for yourself?
I think you've just got to back what you know and what you've been doing. You saw a couple of times there, you could argue it was just nerves. He was getting into great areas, but the shots were time read. Maybe there was just a little bit of mismatch on the timing for him. That's his first win in the tournament. His teammate Harvey, obviously, has been able to pick up some big wins for him too. It's a great move in Mark. They're right to say there's games in hand for Crystal Palace, but look, they can say, as we saw yesterday from Brighton of Albion, let's put points on the board and let's see what you can do. Can you match it?
Well, points on the board indeed. Let's take a look at those standings just now. This is confirmation of those results and all of those games as they happened. Bournemouth taking on Luton. Nathan losing to Harvey Waters, and as we said, Luke Downing of Luton managed to get all 6 points for Luton with his teammate as he beat VBD 4-3. In the other stream, Wolves against Fulham. Mitch Hayward comfortably winning 3-0 against Josh 9. Cast 4, he wins that one 4-3. Wolves at the top with 12 points. Is this how it looks? Because Luton, they actually managed to get all 6 points, but Wolves are at the top. Maybe we've mixed this up, Brandon. Maybe we've got this one wrong just here. Wolves are at the top with 12 points because, obviously, yeah, Wolves actually got 6 points as well. They're just flying under the radar. We've not even spoken about them.
I mean, look, they are a team that have got players that have played in this tournament quite a bit of time. Kai Harris has only played for Wolverhampton Wanderers in this tournament 3 years in a row. We've got a winning goal from one of their games to have a little look at now. This was Mitch Hayward, who has played. This is the Kai Harris goal, we are saying. 4 goals to 3. It was a last-minute kick there from Virgil van Dijk. But just on that, Mitch Hayward, they call him Money Mitch. He's been in this tournament 5 years in a row. He's had top 4 in 2 of those. Is this the time for him to maybe go that one step further?
Is this the time for him to go one step further? That's the big question. He's got a huge matchup that's coming up very, very shortly. We'll be previewing that as we get more information, and I can see it all unfolding in front of my eyes just now. All of those 4 players going head to head. Right, let's take a look though. Group D, that's coming up a little bit later, isn't it? And Casey, well, she's caught up with one of the Brentford boys.
I am here with the artist from Brentford, and I have to talk to you about some previous interviews. You have said that you are so naturally talented that the competition should be scared. Are you still feeling that way today?
Yeah, definitely. I'm practicing really well. I feel really great in attacks. Hopefully I can score some good goals for the fans.
And now you mentioned good goals, and you've also said that you scored the best goal to ever happen in the ePremier League. Do you think you could top that goal today?
Hopefully. I mean, I've got Stingray, who the goal was against in the first ePrem, so hopefully we can replicate that.
All right, well, make sure to tune in. Hopefully we see some amazing goals. Good luck.
Thank you, Casey. Grav, you've joined us here on the desk. That was a quick change, wasn't it? Welcome.
Thank you.
Right, we've had so much action already. We're going into round number 4 of our fixtures. I can let in on a little secret. We'll be watching Wolves take on Crystal Palace. I want to focus on one game in particular. Mitch Hayward taking on Shellzz. We keep on talking about experience. When you look at this one, it's at the top. Mitch Hayward and Shellzz, what a fixture that is.
Yeah, it's an important fixture because I guess whatever happens in this match, we'll see who tops the group in a moment, because I do think Luton has to win all his 6 points in round 5. But I do think this Hayward Shellzz is going to be experienced, obviously, here. But I want to focus as well, as we're going to see, as a secondary match, K against NiKSNEB. They did play earlier before in the year in October in the FC Pro qualifier, and NiKSNEB won the match 9-7. So they're going to be playing again here in the ePremier League. Maybe he takes the revenge, okay? I guess we'll see.
We will see indeed. We can see the Crystal Palace boys there just getting ready. NiKSNEB is in the zone. I wonder what he's listening to right there. Shellzz just behind him. They're talking to each other. I'm sure they'll be seeing what they can plan to get those 6 points. Grav, at this stage in the competition, you've had 4 games. Crystal Palace, a little bit of a rest as well. They know they've got it all to do in the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, they might be a little bit behind in the table because they are 1 point and 3 points behind both Fulham and their opponents now. But the thing is, right now, if they win their matches, they're going to be with 15 points out of 18 possible, which is the best situation you could be in. So if I were just right now in Crystal Palace's shoes, I would just win my matches. I know it's easy to do, but if you win them, you're probably going to get through. So, I mean, tough position for them, but they got to win.
Shellzz heard you say that. He's smiling away just there. Just win your matches. It is as simple as that. Right, well, coming up now, Fulham take on Bournemouth on Stream B. But on our main show, it's the return of Shellzz as Wolves play Crystal Palace.
With other results potentially going their way and starting to see how this table does unfold. It's not the first time that these two have matched in an ePremier League, because in the 2012, Mitch Hayward did play against Shellzz before Shellzz went on to lift the trophy, and I'm sure you know by that stat, Shellzz was victorious. Very tightly contested game, and it was sort of Mitch's another opportunity for him to go very far. He's finished 2021 and in 2022. Will he return back to a top 4, maybe even a top 2 placing? We'll find out in March, but we'll be going in as table toppers. We will find out.
We will find out indeed. Of course, us both expected to be at the top of the table. Is it a surprise to you, Rich, that Crystal Palace has dropped a little bit?
I think they just had the game off, really. The rest of the results going against them. They've now got 12 points to play for. It's been very, very tactical, this game.
I think also having 2 players with a lot of experience. Mitch, of course, coming off of a boost of confidence, obviously being top of the table too.
That's fortunate. That's really fortunate. Marcus Rashford getting on the rebound. Mitch disappointed, but Shellzz will be ecstatic. 1-0 up early door. Title, top of the table deciding clash. Goes 1-0 to the good, and it is my pleasure to bring into the commentary booth Casey. I know we've done this a few times on the FC Pro. However, ePremier League, welcome to the commentary position.
Thank you. Happy to be here for such an exciting match as well.
Great game.
Great game.
Casey, obviously you know Shellzz very well. Mitch Hayward, been in and around the competition for a long time. What are your expectations from a match like this?
Man,
Great finish.
Lots of goals.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Mitch right back in the game. Maybe not the player that you expect to be popping up at the back with a finish. I think it was Reece James, who actually was the person putting the ball in the back of the net, but he won't care one bit. Mitch Hayward back in the game, Wolves level pegging.
It's what we love to see from experienced players like the two of them. Reece James scores goals for Chelsea, and he scores goals for Wolves as well.
Obviously, you've had the chance to sort of be backstage, mingling with a number of the players. Hold on, could be a chance here. Ginola. Oh, what a tackle. Mitch, hands in the air. He wants a foul. What's sort of the vibe backstage? Do you feel like there's a little bit of nerves floating around with the table being so close?
Yeah, I think so. There were a lot of nerves in the beginning, and I think that once you kind of get those first games out of the way, you kind of get into a rhythm. But as we get towards the end of the day, the nerves kind of come back because the table is so close and the stakes are so high, because obviously there's only that one spot that everyone's going towards, and I mean, anyone could take it at this point. So they really, every single goal matters.
Absolutely.
A chance here for Crystal Palace. Reece James finding Marcus Rashford at the top. Rue Hullet, a cancel there. De Bruyne through to Ginola, but defended well by Wolves and Mitch Hayward.
Obviously, we saw quite a frantic start to this game. It's just sort of settling in now, both players. It's really important when you're in a game like this, if you concede, to reply quickly. So as soon as you start to see the time draining down with one leg, 6-minute halves, I was talking about with Ryan earlier, the game just gets away from you. And then you find yourself 70 minutes in having to go pressing, having to chase the game. Typically what happens, you concede. And just making sure that you're back in the game early doors and continuing to play your style of FC, Casey, I think is important.
Yeah, you really can't adapt your gameplay too much to your opponent. You have to stick with what you know, because at the end of the day, with the 6-minute halves, it does go a lot quicker than some of these other competitions, and so there's only so much time to be scoring those goals. So if you get down by 2-3 goals, there's not much you can do, because like you said, you turn on the press and anything can happen at that point, and you can easily make that 4, 5, and it could be
the tactics just thrown out the window.
Exactly.
Anything can happen indeed. Rashford through to Ginola. Wolves and Mitch Hayward on the counter-attack here. He's got Erling Haaland in the box with a player lock, looking to get the header, a target man that most of these, if not all of these players, have on their bench or in their starting 11.
There's only a few players that can compete with Haaland in the box. We saw one of them there in Patrick Vieira, deployed at centre-back. For Shellzz, Van Dijk maybe. It is another one. I think he outleaps Varane. I think he outleaps all of the full-backs. Maybe Ruud Hullet you can put up against him, but Haaland is just devastating. But he's not for everyone. He's got to be executed in the right way, getting the ball out wide and getting the ball into those dangerous areas.
Sun through in the box here with an opportunity for Wolves. Passes it back, no player locks there. Reece James, and a finish from Marcus Rashford and Wolves. Mitch Hayward leads 2-1.
I mean, that finish right there, easy cutback. At the end of the day, Mitch Hayward is making it look easy, especially against an opponent like Shellzz, who is known for defending fairly well, but at the end of the day, there wasn't much that Shellzz could do there, because it got a bit mixy there with his two center backs.
Again, James involved up from right back. He was in the attack, got the goal, got the assist now for Mitch. You saw Haaland sort of dropping deep ever so slightly, and he was then sort of the build-up player in that attack. Both games obviously taking place simultaneously here. It's straight from kickoff.
That was
just
quick.
Equalised straight from kickoff.
That was quick. That was easy. Shellzz equalizes 2-2.
I mean, we just saw the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I'm not sure what happened, really.
That's incredible.
Interesting with Reece James is it's an item that we have seen at right back. We mentioned before, Grav and I, that there are not very many options at right back. Reece James, Perisic, we've seen Ramirez at right back, Kyle Walker, but Reece James, an attacking fullback in real life with good offensive stats as well. So it's not surprising to see him involved.
Yeah, and I think obviously if you'd asked me in October who would be the fullbacks, I might not have said James and Havertz. And I suppose that's the beauty of having a live game that's always bringing out new items and bringing out sort of different players in different positions. And look, with Team of the Year as well, right around the corner. By the time we come to March, you'll have those Team of the Year items in the team, but we might have 3 or 4 different promos that offer players in different positions, and who knows where we might end up. I mean, Alisson at centre mid. I'm not. You might see him with that winter wildcard version. Half-time for both games right now. Just having a quick discussion.
All square. Anyone's game, really. It's been pretty end-to-end.
Just trying to see that NiKSNEB and Kai Harris score as well at this
A little
moment.
too fast. My eyesight is not that good, so I'll rely on you guys. Any changes made at halftime? Or are you waiting till like the 75th minute?
I don't think so for me personally. What about yourself, Casey? I think it's been quite an even game, really.
Yeah, I think that if I were down by more than a couple goals, I'd be changing things, but it's so end-to-end that I wouldn't be changing much and just hope that it swings your way in the second half.
I mean, draws in this game, they don't help Wolves a lot. If they only pick up 2 points here, and Palace, you might be able to sneak up on them in the last game. In every other, I say every other, in the 2 groups that we saw yesterday, the 5th round didn't matter too much for that top of the table position. You're starting to see it potentially come into factor here going into round 5 for Group C.
I will say, though, that sometimes the draws can really be a detriment, because if you look at a player like
100%.
Red like yesterday, who you take a draw, right, because it is a point, but once those start adding up, they just don't become enough at some point.
Especially when your close competitors getting 3.
Well, we have just kicked off the second half. 2 goals apiece for Crystal Palace and Wolves. As Graf said, to either of them, just win the game. Easy.
Only with that easy, I'll be on the stage.
Right? We'd all be pros. That's why we're standing here and not sitting there.
Yes.
Dodgy thumbs.
Yeah, we would have been pro if it wasn't for our thumbs, right? Mitch Hayward holding possession of the ball, looking, but patient. And patience is often rewarded. What we've seen a little bit in some of the more inexperienced players is a lack of patience, which results in overturning the ball, poor game management. But obviously these 2 players have been in these seats before, been under these lights before. They know how to manage a game. They know how to take their time with passes. Some step-overs there with maybe a poor touch. Mitch Hayward regains possession.
There's not a lot on. He's done well, though.
Then well, Ginola back to Son. Finds Rullet at the top of the box. De Bruyne with his passing stats. Marcus Rashford takes the lead. Wolves leading by 3 goals.
It's really, really patient. I think that's the best way to describe that goal. He just kept the ball, he kept working it. It wasn't really on, he recycled it again, just moving it constantly, trying to pull players out of position, waiting. And in the end, he's got his reward. But it's real good sort of just management of the game. I think that's something we've talked about as well from maybe a couple of inexperienced players. They're not having that. Mitch has got that in abundance.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between a good player and a top-tier player. You know exactly when to execute that shot, and some people are just taking that too early, and it might not be the perfect chance, and Mitch is choosing those perfect chances.
It's a chance there from Shellzz. A good shot from Ginola, a little bit wide. Goal kick for Wolves. We talked a little bit before about playstyles and how that element in FC24 has affected the game this year. And obviously, players like Erling Haaland, players like Thierry Henry, strikers are items that we haven't typically seen in competitive competitions in the past are being heavily utilized this year as Erling Haaland in just about every team. Can you share some insight on why playstyles and playstyle plus is so important?
Yeah, I think obviously, hold on, Ginola, he stole the ball back, near post, great save, the rebound just goes away from him. With those playstyles, it's a two-way street because the playstyles have influenced how the game's been played, and also how the game's been played influences which playstyles you want to use. Someone who's got a big crossing ability or a great player in the air will be able to play into his strengths, and that's how the game is played a lot this year, in the air, looking to win knock-ons, win head-downs, before the patch to the finesse shot, which it's still a strong mechanic in the game. Someone like Son would be incredible. He'd be in every single team, and he's still involved, but maybe it's not as effective as we once saw.
All right, guys, not to step out on that conversation, but I do have to get ready for an interview, so good luck with the rest of this half.
See you soon.
See ya. A chance here from Shellzz. Red timed. A little bit of a deflection there. A pause queued up by Wolves. this is the time of the game where they're looking to make changes. Shellzz likely making some changes too, looking to equalize.
Yeah, just as we do that, still 0-0 between NiKSNEB and Kai Harris.
A green time header, that's where you want Erling Haaland in the box. What we've seen a lot of is player locks that bait the goalkeeper, or bait the opponent rather, into goalkeeper movement and putting that ball in the net with the head of Erling Haaland, sometimes Thierry Henry.
A little bit of inside info. Just as we were in that break there, I went up to the Wolves booth as they were moving, and Kai just looked over to Mitch and went, "It's still in our hands. It's still ours. It's still ours to take." So I think they clearly are confident, and they clearly know what's needed of them in order to sit atop of this group when it's all said and done.
Well, we're approaching the 70th minute. Wolves are leading at the moment over on the Xbox game. Tied here will share the points if the score stands between Crystal Palace and Wolves. Are there any expectations from NiKSNEB or Kai in this game?
I think you potentially favour NiKSNEB. Kai's a great player and played really well this season in other competitions in the FC Pro circuit. Just think with Sneb's performances that he's gave so far, he's looked nice. He's looked really good. That 2-1 win against Messi FTG earlier on, which he was up against it, obviously the red card, which is what he talked about. And then that win against Luke Downing, 4-1. He's scored goals. What Kai's done is he's silenced him, really. We've not had the opportunity to watch that game in full, but just looking at the scoreline and the small snippets we've seen from it, I'm sure we'll find more information out shortly, but it's a good game that's happening just off to our featured matchup.
We're back with the Xbox match between Crystal Palace and Wolves. Shellzz and Mitch Hayward. Shellzz still trailing by 3-2. Mitch Hayward just coming off of a pause, making some changes there. 15 in-game minutes left to go. Are you game managing at this point, or are you still pushing?
I was about to say, if there's one player that you don't want to be in this scenario against, it's Mitch. Money Mitch. He's cerebral. He's clinical in these situations. Very rarely will he give the ball away. Even there, where he's played a pass that maybe looks a little bit risky, he still manages to get hold of the ball.
Again.
Gives it away on this occasion. Sorry, Mitch, I've just jinxed you, but Shellzz only got 10 minutes to find something out of this game.
Shellzz looking to be perhaps a little more aggressive while still maintaining that position.
Vieira. Oh!
Okay. We got Ginola in the box here. A quick shot, far post. Out for a corner. Shellzz and Crystal Palace still maintaining possession. Kai Havertz with the whip cross. Doesn't quite utilize it.
Oh!
A heel toe and an incredible finish. Cross, keeper. Shellzz equalizes in the dire minutes of this match. 3-3. What a goal.
Perfect. The perfect skill move for the perfect situation. Just look at that. Borrell heel to heel. Sends 3 players packing. De Bruyne, left-footed strike across the goalkeeper. 5-star weak foot for a reason.
He's smiling.
Not surprised he's smiling with that one.
It's an aesthetically pleasing goal too to watch. A nice one. Something happened in the other game. We heard some roars here.
I think it might have been a let's go.
It's still 0-0 though. I'm just hearing things.
Was a shout.
There was a shout, but...
That's why.
Oh! It's like I could tell the future. I predicted the future. I don't know who I jinxed, but...
As it stands, Palace, 4 points they will be picking up against Wolves. We can have a look at this goal again. The step overs, just that tiny little ball roll. It just settled the shot before he took it. Shellzz celebrating that one. Venny between them. One of the best coaches the UK has to offer. And now, Crystal Palace in the driver's seat.
A great position in this match for both Xbox and PlayStation, and a great position for the table as well. Kai Harris looking a little bit disappointed, having conceded that late in the game. I didn't quite catch the minute of that game, but...
78?
Still time. Still time to equalize. Do you think we'll see some tactical changes from Wolves and Kai Havertz again?
Yeah, it has to. He has to push bodies forward. This game a little bit later on in time duration. 84th minute, I think that was.
And as it stands, a point from this game, 3 from the other for Crystal Palace.
I don't think this is over yet.
I don't think so
there'll be a goal. I think there'll be a winner. Does it come from Mitch and Wolves? Will they be splitting the 6 points evenly, or is it a clean sweep for Palace?
Havertz maintaining that possession, looking for the pass to Bernardo Silva with a very effective playstyle plus. Some quick but accurate passes from Mitch Hayward. Scott Perisic to Ginola. Ruhullet looking for the pass. Ginola finds Thierry Henry. Tries to make that last pass, but read well.
Yeah, there was potentially a little bit of a Trevella opening. Didn't take it in the end, and Shellzz has got an out ball here with Kyle Walker, who is fresh off the bench as well. Last chance will fall to Shellzz, but I just don't know if there's enough time to get it forward. Hold on.
What's happened here? Erling Haaland with the strength, a body
Hold
committed,
on.
and some space created by that body committed from Shellzz.
Can't go backwards.
Silva, Ginola.
That's it.
Anticipated well by Shellzz, and that is game. They share the points between Crystal Palace and Wolves, 3 goals to 3. Let's take a look at the last few seconds in the PlayStation match between NiKSNEB and Kai Harris. NiKSNEB leading and finishing that game 1 goal to 0, taking the 3 points, 4 points as a team.
Advantage Palace at this moment. 4 points from 6. Big performance. Shellzz fighting back. NiKSNEB with a 1-0 win. It was a great finish in the end from NiKSNEB, but you've got to think that Palace now in the driver's seat going into that last round. They'll be taking on Bournemouth, who have struggled today, to top the table.
I think they'll be happy going into that game, confident, I would say, given the results of them coming off of that win, but also the results of Bournemouth, like you said. But anything can happen in FC.
Yeah, Luton Town always around the corner as well. We'll have to see what they can do.
Definitely. Well, you guys, Casey is over with Shellzz, who had equalized in the latter minutes of that game to take a point. Let's see what they both have to say.
Yes, I'm sitting with a very happy Shellzz. We've heard a lot of screaming and excited moments from him. Due to his teammate, though, how proud are you of NiKSNEB?
This guy's crazy. Like, the thing is, I'm happy, obviously, we got 4 points, but I'm not happy with how I'm playing. But then when I was paused and I was watching this guy cook, I'm not going to lie, it's hard to kind of keep composed. But right now, I'm just a bit of a nervous wreck. But I'm happy to get 4 points. Obviously, Wolves are a really good competitor. One of the toughest teams in the group, but every point counts. So I'm happy to obviously get the draw, but I'm disappointed how I'm playing.
Yes, so you are sitting on 13 points now with 1 more round to go. Believe you're going up against Bournemouth. How are you? What is your mindset going into this last one, knowing that you're towards the top of the table?
I'm just hoping it clicks, man. I've been struggling. I don't know. I feel like I'm playing it good, but like on the edge, I'm really nervous. But Deji and Dave's a good friend of mine. I know he's over there smiling, but Deji as well is a good player. So, I mean, the way how he's playing, I think he's going to carry me all the way to the top. But now, hopefully, I can step up, get my 3 points, and hopefully that's enough.
All right, well, let's see if this Crystal Palace duo can do it in this last round. Good luck, Shellzz.
Look at the smile on his face there. We'll be dissecting everything that's happened. We had late drama, late goals, and a 6-goal thriller as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be looking at all of that action after this short break. Welcome back to the ePremier League 2024. We promised you drama, and that we got. NiKSNEB scoring this goal, and you can see the frustration just there, but the elation for Crystal Palace and that young man, NiKSNEB. Well, this is how all of our results currently look just here after that round of games. Round 4, Wolves taking on Crystal Palace. Mitch Haywood and Shellzz 3-3. As we saw that goal there, NiKSNEB beating Kai Harris 1-0. And then Fulham against Bournemouth. Nathan winning that one 4-1 against Josh. And it was Messi FTG 3 as he took on VBD, who only managed to get 2 goals. Right, well, we've got Gravison here at the analysis zone to talk us through one of the games we were watching. Mitch Haywood, we talked about experience. When you're 1-1 here, the ePremier League, you're going to break us down what he went on to do.
Yeah, basically, we could have analysed NiKSNEB's goal, but I don't think you will be able to do that at home. But this goal is fairly easy, so if you just play it, I'm going to explain it to you why you can do this at home. So basically, he was playing 4-3-2-1, basically running. He passed it to Haaland, then to Son, and he finds himself passing it to Reece James with a really nice ball. And if we pause it right here, we'll see how you find yourself in this situation in which you have your striker. And there's basically 3 things you can do. You could maybe turn this way with an elastico. You could just turn to the up and try to just shoot the ball to the back post. Or you could maybe take a first touch, which is the quickest and easiest thing to do. So basically, in this situation, if you just take a really quick first touch towards the way the ball has been played, you'll find the quickest way to score a goal, which is what Mitch did in this situation, which is brilliant, just brilliant, because you cannot defend that.
I mean, you said it's really easy to do at home. For people that are great at the game, possibly it is, but we're talking split seconds here. We're talking decisions you've got to make under pressure here at the ePremier League. You can do it at home all you like, but when you're on the big stage, that just shows the experience that that man's got.
Yeah, basically, I mean, he's playing for a while, but I'm telling you, Kyle, you can do this at home because elastico, reverse elastico is hard. Maybe turn to the way you're just going backwards is hard as well, but just a first touch and an easy tap in, that I'm going to tell you, you can do that at home as well.
Well, maybe I can. I'll get practicing just there. We've got Group B was happening as well. Stream B, I should say, sorry. There was plenty happening in that matchup. Fulham and Messi FTG. Well, he managed to get the first points on the board for Fulham. They've been struggling so far, but he managed to get this. We're looking at here just now. There's a couple of saves in this one, Grav. You have got to hold your nerve, haven't you? When it's not going your way, you've got to make sure that you take control and you remain calm and focused.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do because the goalkeeper movement, I mean, if you're quick enough, it's going to be hard, but you got to take those, just that split second to see the way the goalkeeper is being moved and just choose the other post. I know it's an easy thing to do, but I'm telling you, this is harder than actually scoring this goal we just saw with Mitch.
It definitely is harder. There's been plenty of action happening. You might not have been across all of it. So let's have a look at our standings in Group C. This is how things currently look. As you can see, Crystal Palace, well, they're at the top, 13 points. They're drawing where you can see goal difference as well with Wolves, both of them on 13 points. Luton Town in 3rd on 10. Bournemouth, they're on 5. And Fulham, after getting those 3 points, they are at the bottom. They're currently in 5th. With that one. Grav, thank you so much. We've got plenty more action to keep you busy with, and we'll be back at the analysis zone very, very shortly. But one man that surely has got to be quite happy. We were looking at the table just there. Kai Harris, thank you for joining us. Leah, nice to have you on your box.
On my box.
You've grown in height. Kai, how are you feeling? You've played all of those games. You feeling confident? Feeling good?
Yeah, I felt good, but just a bit devastated now, to be honest, because I've just seen the standings and I don't think we can make it out really unless Palace completely crumble, but I can't see that happening now.
Try and keep that mic up there for us. Leah, what have you made of Wolves' performances today, in particular Kai?
I think really good. I think consistent, dominant. I think unlucky to concede the 1 goal, having held out almost the entire match. But listen, you're behind on head-to-head, but The points are still shared at 13 apiece, so I'm positive.
We're all positive here. We're going to try and keep you positive as well. Talk to me about your experience of the ePremier League, stepping up, being on this stage just here. We keep on talking about how exciting it is. Have you felt nervous at all throughout today?
Not really, to be honest, because it's my 3rd time here now. So, like, yeah. Sort of thing.
And talk to me about your partner in crime. Talk to me about Mitch. We've talked about his experience, but you're both so experienced when it comes to the Premier League. What have you made of working with him?
Yeah, really good player, consistent. He's been here 5 times in a row now. Just unlucky on the day, really. And to be honest, results haven't gone our way, but we'll be back in March, you know.
I can see how gutted you are. We can hear it as well. Let's have a look at the next fixtures that are coming up in round number 5. Leah, talk us through what we've got coming up, because when it comes to round 5, we've got Crystal Palace, they're taking on Bournemouth. We've got Luton, who are taking on Fulham. That one's at the top just there. Harvey Waters taking on Josh in that game on the Xbox. Luke Downing taking on Messi, FTG. And then, as I mentioned, Crystal Palace against Bournemouth, Shellzz against Nathan, NiKSNEB against VBD. Leah, it's all to play for in this final round.
It is. I think Palace have been dominant today as expected. Bournemouth have struggled a little bit. However, I think mentality can play a role, because perhaps Palace is going into this game thinking it'll be simple, and that's where they might get hit or damaged, we could say.
Now, Kai, you won't be playing in this 5th round, but looking at those fixtures we've just seen there, any that jump out to you? Any players that have impressed you so much today?
Luke Downing, to be fair as well, really good player. I played him. He should have probably scored 1 or 2 more against me. So I'll be keeping an eye on that game as well. And obviously that Palace game, yeah, top quality, you know.
Oh, it is. It's all happening right here, so make sure you stay with us here on Stream A. Luton play Fulham, but over on Stream B, Crystal Palace are against Bournemouth.
To Stream B, I am joined by Richard Buckley. We were on Stream A earlier. We're back on Stream B. We get the privilege of seeing NiKSNEB up against BBD. That's a massive game, because all Palace need technically is 4 points across the 6, and they secure top spot.
Yeah, I've been having problems with Wyatt all day long. It's just not going away. I think for Palace, they know what they need to do.
Yeah.
Win both games.
Win both games guarantees.
Or win and a draw, and hope that, I mean, you can't be caught. If you lose a game, there's a chance, and it'd have to be a big goal swing for Luton to overlap them. If they win both games, there's a 3-point buffer right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can just see the table above me right now. 13 points Crystal Palace, 13 points Wolves. That goal difference is exactly the same, but on head-to-head, I think Palace go top.
Yeah.
Luton, 10 points, -1, so they're 6 goals back and 3 points back. We'll be keeping an eye on both games. I mean, the game that you said we get the opportunity to watch is Crystal Palace. We're watching the team that's got it in their hands.
Yep, exactly. There's still technically a chance for Wolves to make it. They're levelled on points, but they need so many things to fall in their favour.
Bournemouth and Fulham
both
to win comfortably.
Yeah, I don't see it personally. So in my opinion, I think the conversation is based around whether Crystal Palace will finish top spot or Luton. And as we say, Luton up against Fulham, I think they've done incredibly well. I think they came in as nobody, in my opinion, within the scene would have put them as not even a favourite, to have any contention to finish in top spot, in my opinion.
Do you know what it is, though? It's always the case that young talent, there's always a team that outperform.
Yeah.
You remember back to Brentford.
Exactly, yeah.
Zahinio and Sam Brewster.
Yeah.
Just came out of nowhere, unbelievable. I mean, GP with Dammy.
Yeah.
That same year, who went on to win the first ever Premier League. Kyle Leese.
Oh my God.
For Manchester United.
That is, wow, yeah.
Getting through to the final before losing to Tex. I mean, every year, even Mitch, when Mitch Hayward came through.
You know what about Mitch, right? I don't think we give him the respect. I don't think I deserve. I give him the respect he deserves. He's so consistent, especially in the UK EPL. Honestly, he's been incredible, and it's such a shame that they won't. Well, the likelihood of them finishing top of the table is minuscule, but
it's really tough, because I think Mitch, I mean, individually, he's played pretty well. Couple of draws that maybe have let him down on the route. However, when you look at the performances that they've put up, I think going into the knockouts, they're one of those teams that you don't want to play.
Absolutely, you'd want to avoid them. There's the likes of Nottingham Forest as well. We saw yesterday who are.
Because Mitchell do a job on you.
Yeah.
He'll get a 1-0.
He keep that possession. You don't want to play him.
What you're joining us here on the B String 4 is Crystal Palace against Bournemouth. Shellzz, the match that we're watching right now. He's in action against Nathan BP. And it is Nathan from right to left in the Bournemouth kit. Mo Salah on the ball if you are wanting a little bit more confirmation. Beautiful McGeady cancel. Hold the phone. He has just absolutely cooked him.
That is sensational from Nathan BP. I told you he's got a bit about him, right?
Interesting. Yeah. That's what he's doing.
The celebration to match. He's got...
That's right, you on a Friday night.
Yeah. Nathan is dangerous in the area. The skill cancels, and Shellzz felt the wrath of that. It's a blistering start there from Bournemouth. And they've just shaken things up a little bit. They've made it...
In the other match as well, because I've got the opportunity here on the B stream to be able to see both games. Luton's 1-0 up.
Wait, as it stands right now...
Obviously, the NiKSNEB game currently underway as well versus very big Dave. And it would have to be a very big performance from Dave.
You've been thinking of that for ages, haven't you?
To get anything out of this group for Luton Town and to ruin Crystal Palace's hopes of finishing first. However, let's just keep an eye on the two fixtures right now. If you are joining us,
good press.
Pleasure to be with myself and Ryan. We'll try and keep you up to date with every single goal as it goes in. I think he's just offside, is he not?
Yeah, he is, yeah. I think maybe he's done a little bit too much. When you're in that position in the box, Shellzz loves to do a reverse elastico, an L1 stop and try and find an angle, but he just tried that extra pass to Haaland, who was offside. One thing I've noticed, a common theme amongst the players that are normally associated with not conceding a lot of goals. Tex, Shellzz, Mitch Hayward, they're conceding a lot.
Yeah, I agree. That's speculative, but he's going to get the rebounds. Quite fortunately there, Nathan. Do you think, not for the players that you mentioned there, but the 5-back, the dreaded 5-back was eligible to use?
We would have seen a lot of...
In the EPL qualifiers and in the club playoffs. Here it's not. Do you think people who maybe qualified with that have been hampered a little bit?
100%. The likes of Painter we saw for Newcastle. If Painter was allowed to use the 5-back, I
what he said to me?
0 goals conceded.
They were like, I saw him yesterday, he goes, yeah, I was trying to find a solution. I was playing 4-1-4-1, trying to get the left mid and right mid to come back. They were like, there were no 5-back. There were no 5-back I could use, and I just didn't know what to go for in the end. But what you're seeing here is Nathan BP. He's not had a great day, it's got to be honest, for Bournemouth. Potentially shaking up this group. There's a lot of time left though, and Shellzz is a truly brilliant attacker. He can create something out of nothing, but not like that. We talked about Nathan's results today. 2-2 draw versus Mitch, opening game against Wolves. He then lost 2-0 against Harvey of Luton Town, and you just saw him underway against Josh 9 from Fulham not too long ago. And we have got an update for you. Crystal Palace on the PlayStation. NiKSNEB against very big Dave. 1-0. So as it stands, Palace move up to 16. Luton are on 13. We don't know the result of that other Luton match, the one that Harvey is playing in. Once we find that information for you, we can get it for you.
Luton, no matter what, they need
a big goal swing.
Yeah, they need goals. They need to push on forward. Even if you're winning by 1 or 2 approaching the later stages of the game, it's worth going forward. And we can see on the screen above us as well.
Look down, he's 2-0 up.
2-0. It's a familiar story, to be fair. He's
been good today.
Yeah, very, very good. For his first event, he's shown why he should be considered as one of the best attackers in this tournament.
Maybe things are going Luton's way, because with Thierry Henry, just a simple finesse in the bottom corner, Bournemouth now 2-0 up. So we talked about that goal swing. He's now +3 in Luton's favour. That's the 2 goals that they have scored in the match with Luke Downing. That is the -2 goals that Shellzz has let in. However, NiKSNEB has got a +1.
And there's actually been a goal.
Harvey is
1-0 up. That puts 6 points in the favourable position for Luton. They're level on points as it stands with Crystal Palace.
And the 3-0 up as well. Luke Downing's 3-0 up.
Oh
I think, as it stands, I'm trying to work the table out in my head. I think they might be getting close to finishing top. However, Shellzz in possession, looking to put an end to all the speculation. All he needs is a point here. Virgil van Dijk defends well. Maybe the pressure and the permutations just starting to potentially, a lot of P's in that sentence, starting to
I think it's
play a factor.
It's a 1-goal difference right now. Unless I'm mistaken, it's a 1-goal difference in favour of Crystal Palace.
Fascinating stuff. Goalkeeper movement. Shellzz didn't fancy it.
No.
He's passed it across the box. It's just not quite going for Shellzz at the minute.
Oh my goodness, no way.
He could be in, you know. Son, he's got the pace. Vieira's nowhere near him. Cuts back. Ginola. Strike. Oh my God, Nathan BP. Where has this been today, sir? He's 3-0 up. He's bunny hopping on Crystal Palace's hopes of a top place. This is ridiculous.
I don't actually know what to say. I can't believe.
I don't know what the table means. I think Luton are top.
I don't know what to say. I'm just, yeah, I need to see the result for NiKSNEB. I need to see whether or not he's winning by more than 1 goal, because
I might be able to find it for you. Give me a second.
this is...
I know a few people. Hold the phone. NiKSNEB versus Very Big Dave is 1 apiece. I don't know what to do. It's all crumbling apart. We're hunched over because we didn't expect it. We painted the picture, and all it needed was Bournemouth to come in with a few prime colours, maybe a red, blue and a yellow, and start to paint it in. They've not only painted it, Pablo Picasso's come out.
I might need a sick bag, you know, next to me. Honest, I feel sick. That is...
Give me 1 second.
I'm genuinely lost.
I'm going to pull it up right now. I've got all the live results.
Yeah. I'm lost.
And I'll be able to tell you what's happening, because I think the table should be on this. It's very unprofessional, I apologise. There's a document that I've got, and the league table. Let's have a look at the PS5 game while I pull this up. It's 2-1.
Come on, Snap.
Palace is back in front.
It's been Bournemouth building up here. Trying to get that equaliser. We've jumped in. It's defended well there from NiKSNEB and Crystal Palace. Given straight back to him as well. The way it's going, NiKSNEB needs to carry on scoring unless Shellzz, because the way, from what we've seen, Shellzz hasn't looked too threatening going forward. He needs to pick up his performances.
So as it stands, in Group C, it's not live. The table's not live, unfortunately.
The pace from
Salah.
I can't actually believe what's going on here. Deji pushing forward. The player look was smart. It fell fortunately back to him again.
Wow, that's 4-0.
Oh,
That is 4-0. The other fixtures right now in this group.
Oh my days. Oh my goodness.
Luton Town 3-0 against Fulham. Luton Town on the reverse fixture is 1-0.
Okay, so
they're
that's a +4. That puts him on 3-goal difference.
Right now, this is 4-0. So that's -4 for Palace.
And they're winning by 1. It puts them, Luton atop.
Luton are top by 1 goal, I think.
Yes.
Let's have a look at the PlayStation game. NiKSNEB in action. He's probably looking over his shoulder and thinking, I've got to do something here. 60 minutes on the clock, 2-1 up against Bournemouth. If he can win this game comfortably, it shakes it up. And they will go top.
Great step over cancel again.
Just look at the space. Does Rashford have the pace? Kai Havertz, you see that player at the top of the pitch? I'm not sure where they're going to get the ball.
Oh, I thought Haaland was triggered.
Didn't fancy it. Ryan Passau was a fan.
Go for it!
No! 2-1, 65 minutes on the clock. Oh. This is interesting.
This is not. I don't know what to say.
Well, the matchup, Luton Town. Harvey is 2-0 up. I think that's against Josh 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's...
So they're +6 right now. +5, sorry. +5, so they're 2 goals.
Yes.
They've got 2 goals to play with. Mohamed Salah.
No, should have been across.
The cutback was there, but I think straight across the goal was the ball to play. 69 minutes on the clock. Luton Town are 20 minutes away from topping Group C. 2 rookies coming in and not only shaking up the...
What a tackle. sorry, I'm just...
shaking up the group topping the group.
Go!
He's playing the through ball. Haaland. He's up against Van Dijk. It's a 2 against 1. Maybe not the man you want. To the byline he goes.
Nice.
He's waiting. Good tackle from James. Van der Sar picks up the pieces.
Oh my goodness.
On the head-to-head, let me just find it very quickly. Crystal Palace v Luton Town.
I think they'd be winning on head-to-head.
4-1. And Harvey was 3-2. So that's a 2-goal swing in the favour
There's a goal.
Crystal Palace.
Fulham bring
have
one
just
back.
scored 2-1. However, as that's gone in, Luton have just scored again. So the goal difference still in the favour of Luton Town. If we're possible, let's go over to the Shellzz game. How is Shellzz getting on? He was trailing quite significantly. I've heard it is in a pause, and he's 4-0 down still. You've been with him. You've been right by his side. You didn't see this coming.
Shellzz conceding 4 goals in a game.
Arguably in them, I don't want to put any disrespect on Bournemouth, but arguably in their easiest game.
Bournemouth have nothing to play for in this situation, other than seeding for the next stage in the...
Luton have just gone 3-1 up, Harvey. So the goal difference is just continuing to mount up. This is NiKSNEB in action, 2-1 still. I'm going to have to take a seat because I'm going to be off it very shortly.
Winners.
Into the box.
And again.
Van Dijk swivelling. Son bowling as far as Rodri, and Bournemouth once again. Very big Dave. We said he needed a big performance. He's dampening any Crystal Palace hopes of topping the group. Traore just gets a boot on it above Henry. That pause from Shellzz still underway. It's a big old, what, 15 minutes needed.
Great step there from Bournemouth.
Henry's in at the bottom of the pitch. He's played it. I think he's going to get the better of Van Dijk there.
He is
the
the
play
pace.
style plus, the rapid plus.
Extra
Ginola, good step from Varane.
Great defending there from NiKSNEB. I think this is a situation where, in my opinion, NiKSNEB should be slightly reserved because it's a
Surely-
1-goal swing. You
Does he not know the permutations?
He does, but it's difficult because if you go forward and concede, pass it.
Luton will take it out of your hands.
Yeah, I feel as if Shellzz should be the one that should be throwing the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah, because if he can lose 4-2, I think it goes back to head-to-head, and then Crystal Palace go top. There's only 5 minutes left to play in this game. Henry, step overs into Ginola, Virgil van Dijk.
Unbelievable.
Heroic defending. And an equaliser takes it all out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He has to be.
I see your point now. I see your point. He's just gone ultra-attacking us, Dave.
Look at the left side. He's open. Great
What
slide
a tackle. Oh my God, Haaland. Ginola, step overs into Van Dijk. Last kick of the game. Last play of the game will fall to, not Fulham, fall to Crystal Palace.
Apologies, Fulham just scored.
Haaland going through. De Bruyne defends well. That'll do us for this game, I think. It will. Crystal Palace, 2-1 win. That is 3 points to add to the tally for Palace. Let's head straight over to Shellzz. He's in action against Nathan. Hullet, step overs, strike. He shot at the near post and the space was across the keeper.
Yeah, the goalkeeper was made milliseconds before. Maybe he had enough time to think about where he should have placed.
85 minutes on the clock. Luton 4, Fulham 1. So that game's going to finish. I think this is the last game in the group to conclude.
If Palace score, they top the group.
Is that if you worked it out?
If the scoreline was the same, if it was still 3-1 between Harvey and Josh.
Yeah, we've not seen any updates from that. So you would assume it is 3-1. Luton Town, great save. Sorry, I'm commentating things you can't see. 88th minute on the clock in that game. 82 minutes on the clock here. Bournemouth 4-0 up against Crystal Palace. Something's got to give. Will it be Bournemouth ending Palace's hopes of finishing top? Is there a goal in it for Crystal Palace?
This is honestly outrageous.
Oh, it really is.
I can't believe
we sat here before the camera came to us, before you introduced us, and we said, it's going to be quite simple, this, isn't it, really? We just assumed that Shellzz would get something out of the game.
Even if Shellzz lost, I just didn't.
2-1.
Yeah.
NiKSNEB winning.
I thought it would be a more of a
comprehensive win.
Definitely, but I didn't see Shellzz conceding 4 goals,
I'm
especially with that
just
response.
looking up ahead, and Luton Town have finished both games. They're wrapped up, so their goal difference won't change. Shellzz is the last potential hope for Crystal Palace. 4-1.
I think this puts them top because currently there's still time left between Luton and Fulham in that game between Josh 9 and Harvey. Harvey needs a goal. If he scores, it puts them top.
So I'm just hearing confirmation that due to other results in this group, Palace can only finish second. There's still time to play though. Let's see. Luton are celebrating right now. Shellzz, free kick given against him. Maybe your maths were wrong, Ryan.
Wait, how?
Well, I'm sure we'll wait and see.
Yeah, we have to wait and see. There's still a few moments
there's still
left.
A group, there's still a table that we need. We're not going to go off of this stream until that table comes in, I'm sure. So we need to see for our own sake. What a performance from Nathan.
Great driven as well. He's just offside, actually.
One more chance for Shellzz. He's not even going forward. Does he think he's done enough?
I think he knows that, or maybe the word has gone round that maybe it's not enough, even if he gets another goal.
4-1 victory in the end.
Great performance, we have to say, though, from Nathan. I thought he was outstanding from start to finish, offensively and defensively. It was a resounding victory over Shellzz. And NiKSNEB doing enough to win, to get 3 points against VBD. But, wow, the Luton, honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words.
Luton Town, top of the table. Didn't expect it. Everything was on Palace. The pressure was on Palace. The expectation was on Palace. What we've seen yesterday, the 2 table toppers that we expected to be there, Brighton and Man City, delivered.
Yep, they did.
Today, Crystal Palace have been picked to the post by Luton Town.
I would say that's the first major
shock.
Major shock throughout the tournament that we've seen. Yeah, massive congratulations to Luton. They've been incredible today.
Well, Group D will be getting underway very shortly indeed. The likes of Spurs, Arsenal and Manchester United, the powerhouses of the Premier League, coming up after this break.
They are top of the table. Well, what a day it has been so far. Group C has seen heartbreak, it's seen elation, we've seen drama, late goals, and plenty of highlights to come. We'll be talking all about that, and we're joined by a very special guest who I'll reveal very shortly. But what a day it's been here, the ePremier League 2024. Group C is done. We've confirmed another one of our teams that'll be going straight through to the quarter-finals in March. And what a day it's been. And don't you worry, we've got plenty more action to come your way. Right, well, I mentioned what a day it's been, and I also mentioned a special guest. Yes, Luton Town's Luke Downing has joined us, Richard Buckley, Leah Ravel. The desk is packed. Round of applause for Luton Town. The smile on your face says it all. Luke, how are you feeling right now?
Surprised, to be honest.
Why is that? Why are you surprised?
I mean, looking at the last game, I didn't expect Palace to, well, drop points like the way they did, but I mean, I'm over the moon, to be honest.
I can tell it's not just other teams dropping points, it's about your performances as well. Richard, what have you made of Luton Town here, Group C today?
I mean, I think the performances, we knew there was potential there, especially when you've got two players who sort of come in with a lot of untapped potential. I mean, talking to yourself as well, when you're playing online, you're playing rivals, there's no real fear factor. Like, you know everyone that you're going to play against. You've played in a lot of online cups. Do you think having sort of no, I don't want to say no respect, but knowing every game you're capable of winning helped you through?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like to think every game I've got a chance in. Obviously, I didn't, two hardest games first, lost both of them, didn't start too well. Sort of getting used to the surroundings, but I was happy with the last two performances.
When you're playing that last game as well, you said you were surprised by Palace. Are you looking over to see their result at any point?
I wasn't looking over, but I didn't have headphones in or anything, so I could hear commentary. And as soon as it went 3-4-0, I was like, we just got to focus on winning our games. I was thankfully comfortably up, so yeah.
So knowing that, coming into this group with the competitors, obviously a previous EPL winner in Shellzz, was there any pressure on you? There was a little bit of struggle in your first two games, but you came into your own, especially having never played at LAN before.
Yeah, I mean, it was just getting used to it at the start. We definitely came with no pressure on our shoulders. I mean, first event, Luton first time here as well. So we just, I'd say Harvey especially played with freedom. It took me a couple of games to get into it, but yeah, it was good.
And you certainly did get into it, as we're seeing now. I mean, you can see just free-flowing EAFC 24 action from yourself. When you get into that flow, when you're here, do you forget about the surroundings? Are you listening to the casters and the commentators, or are you just doing what you do best?
Well, I mean, I can sort of hear the casters when I don't have headphones on, but yeah, I'll just try and focus on my game, and when I'm locked in, I don't really take too much notice. No.
I mean, Leah, it's so impressive looking at some of the performances today. To be here at your first event, the results not go your way at the beginning, and to turn it around, how impressive is that?
Well, it's a mentality thing as well, and that, as said before, is what turns a good competitor into a great competitor. And as we spoke also before, the ePremier League is a competition that develops names. So maybe soon you'll be at the World Cup.
And Luke, talk to me about 2 months' time, March. You're going to have plenty of time to maybe rest, but you'll want to be grinding as well and getting that practice in. Are you already thinking about game plan for that?
No, I haven't really thought about it yet, to be honest, but I'm sure when it gets closer to time, I'll be putting the hours in the practice, and then, yeah, it's just about watching teams on Saturday, seeing who we're going to play, and, yeah, getting ready for it.
Wait a minute, you've been off 5 minutes, you've not thought about March yet. God, you need to get prepped and get ready for it. Honestly, the smile says it all. You put a smile on all of our faces as well. Congratulations for today. You've been incredible to watch. I've enjoyed it. This is how the current standings look after all 5 rounds are done and dusted. Luton Town at the top, 16 points. Closely followed by Crystal Palace. They'll be kicking themselves. Their goal difference wasn't enough for them to top that table. Wolves in 3rd, Bournemouth in 4th on 8 points, and Fulham at the bottom, minus 13 goal difference and 3 points. This is what it means though, having a look at our bracket. The knockout stages are filling up. Remember, all 20 teams will be here in March, but there's only 4 that'll be through to the quarterfinals. Manchester City, Luton, and Brighton and Hove Albion. They're there. Talk to me about this though, Richard, because you just pointed out one of the fixtures.
Yeah.
What's jumping out to you?
Wolves against Burnley is a really, really good first game. I think as we start to see this bracket unfold as well, I'll be intrigued to see who Chelsea get, because I think Chelsea looked really good yesterday as well. Jay Sharp and Konkai, potentially expect them to make a run, but I mean, getting top 8, got to be over the moon. You don't have to play against a Chelsea potentially until maybe even a semi-final. I can't get over Palace. 1 goal in the end, and I don't want to compile the misery, but I think Shellzz has got to look at himself and say, maybe it was my individual performances that potentially let us down.
How difficult is that for Shellzz? We talked about the experience. He's held up that trophy. Can still do it, obviously. Drops down into that first day of action when it comes to March. But first game against Everton, it's not going to be easy to get all the way through.
It's not, and I think he will know that he's not played well. He doesn't need us to tell him. Today, 4 points, I think, out of 12, a win, a draw and 2 losses on the road to this predicament they found themselves in, and to only do it by 1 goal just must be heartbreaking. And it came in this last game. I mean, when Nathan came into this game, me and Ryan had the opportunity to commentate this on the B stream. Sorry, Luton, but we thought Palace were going to do it. Like, we didn't expect this result to come in, and I think you've got to be saying thank you to Bournemouth, because this performance was the best performance that Bournemouth have put up in the entire tournament.
Well, you can see how upset Shellzz is just there. NiKSNEB as well. They came so close to qualifying in that top spot of Group C, but it wasn't to be for Crystal Palace. It was meant to be for Luton Town. The Hatters are through. They go to the quarter-finals, and they are very excited. The smile says it all. What an amazing series of matches we've just seen in Group C, but do not go anywhere, because the action, it keeps on coming straight after the break when the teams in Group D take centre stage. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.